Welcome back to this fantastic afternoon session here in Halmstad, Sweden for the IPF World Open Powerlifting Championships 2018 being broadcast for the first time in history on the Olympic Channel, olympicchannel.com. And I am joined in the box with none other than Chrissy, champion Chamley, all the way from Tasmania, and the big boys have come out to play today.
Haven't they ever, Gary? The warm-ups look fantastic out there, and the guys are fit and healthy and strong, so we're looking forward to a great session.
Just to give you an idea of how strong these guys are, the world record in this weight class is 445 kilograms.
Whoa.
Sorry, 445.5 kilograms. That is absolutely monstrous.
Absolutely huge lifts here and huge records and a big lineup. How many we got, Gary?
17 lifters. So we'll have 2 flights today. So we'll have 2 different groups, and basically the groups are divided into their nominations. And you might see some odd things. Now we often see occasionally some winners or some record breakers or some medals come out of that first group, because they're based just on their nominations. And sometimes some of the guys play a bit of hooky, putting in some nominations to get the group they want to be in.
Okay. So is it based on the total that they're expecting? And that's how they split the first group, is the group that's not expected to...
Yeah, so they basically split the group in their nominations based on... So your lower nominations are going to be in the first group. But as we've seen this week and in many other competitions, we see medals come out from anywhere.
They certainly do, and there wouldn't be a Worlds if there wasn't some drama and upset.
Certainly
a bit of jostling.
Well, I think it's a bit of fun, isn't it? And our first lifter, we are 1 second away, Ricardo Fongado from Brazil, with a massive 250 kilograms on the bar.
So, as Gary just said, the guys who are expected to lift the heaviest are in the second group. And we start off now with Ricardo.
Now, we talk about nominations. If we look at the actual nominations and how they change on the day they get here, we had 8 nominations totaling above 1,000 kilos.
Really?
So with all the changes before openers now, we've only got 2 predicted totals above 1,000. We will see a lot of these guys finish above 1,000 kilos, though.
Okay, Ricardo looks nice and strong there.
Yeah, 250 is an easy opening. He lifted 265 this year, and interestingly, he actually lifted 262.5 earlier this year in the 93 kilo class.
Right, so he's gone up.
So he's moved up to the 105. So he's been in and out of 90. He was 2014, he was 93s, 215, 105s, and then earlier this year he was 93s, and then back into the 105s again.
Yeah, and I guess at this sort of weight class, men can move around a little bit with their weight, just depending on where they want to...
Yeah, we'll often see a few of the guys move around.
Move around a bit.
Yakin from Mongolia, 280 kilograms, and this is a nation that is developing rapidly in powerlifting.
Isn't it just? There was only a couple of years ago that we saw them attend the bench press championships. They're great lovers of bench press. And then we started to see them on the full powerlifting program, and they're really coming into their own with the technique and the coaching there in Mongolia.
Now, he hasn't given himself a whole lot of time to set up in case anything goes wrong. And he gets the squat command.
Oh, a lovely, strong
looks
squat.
Powerful.
That was a beautiful squat.
And it's on the board with 3 white lights.
Really fantastic body posture through that as we see the replay here.
Head up, chest up.
Yeah, just see it very nice. He found the depth just beautifully, then stood straight up. I'm impressed, Gary.
John Wesley coming from Canada, 300 kilograms. We're already into the 300s.
Yeah.
3 lifters into the 300s now, and we're only on the openers, just touching the surface.
Well, it just feels like suddenly a lot of weight ended up on the platform now. We've gone into the 105s and there's a lot of weight up there.
And he is an absolute giant. pretty solid on the walkout. He has that very wide stance that he
very
has.
distinctive.
Drops into the hole. Has to work a little bit hard through the midsection for an opener, but it was clean all the way.
Snappy at the top. Great lockout at the end.
And he gets it on the board.
I think he'd be happy with that, Gary.
Adrian Locke from Canada as well. 3:05.
Yes, we've got a couple of situations where we've got a couple of athletes from the same nation competing in this overall class. And that's an interesting situation because it provides a lot of competition, a lot of motivation, and lift your best.
Yeah, they certainly push each other all the way. And this should be an easy opening lift for Adrian Locke. He's got a personal best of 3:40.
So 3:05, just taking his time coming out here. It's
yeah, we talk about that in the coaches and the timing. He's left himself with less than 30 seconds, which is enough time to set up. But if you get told to re-rack and change something, you can really run out of time fast.
And I noticed that he almost ran up the ramp, so those knee wraps aren't super tight.
Yeah, look, you want to be ready to walk onto the platform as soon as they say bar loaded.
Oh.
Drops the knees in a little bit there. Gets the 3 wide lights, but he's going to have to be careful of that as the weight goes up.
Yeah, I'd just like to see him get wrapped a little earlier than that next time.
Yeah, it was a real rush there.
It was a bit of a rush, and we just see him pop it down. That's lovely depth there. But he probably put a bit of pressure on himself that he didn't need.
Michael Fernandez Barantes from Costa Rica, 310 kilograms.
Big shout out to all our South American viewers who are watching. Absolutely very passionate about their powerlifting in South America and Central America, that area.
It is growing at such a rapid rate. We are well over 100 nations in the IPF now.
Ooh.
Knees tracking forward a little bit there, and you can see he really dumped his chest forward. Let's see what the referees say. Not deep enough. And you can see he really didn't sit back into it.
He got kind of out of balance, I felt, on the way down. He started to sway all over the place there and cut it short.
And quite often when you start to move around, the mind loses the confidence. You tend to pull up a little bit short. You sort of pull up to that point where you think this is the only point I can turn it around now. Jussi Kangasvera from Finland, 320 kilograms.
Well done, Gary.
I always love it when they throw a tough name my way.
Yeah, you can handle it.
320 on the bar and well within reach for this gentleman.
Tall lifter.
He lifted 332.5 at the European Championships this year. And he's another athlete that competes equipped and raw. Very good depth, really deep into that. Making sure the referees have nothing at all to think about.
That's the deepest squat I've seen today.
I think it's the deepest squat I've seen all week.
Okay. That is
3 white
incredible.
lights.
Watch this. He just keeps going.
No referee was going to argue with that one.
No, that's brilliant.
Takahito Akutsu from Japan, 335. And again, he has a monstrous personal best. He is well under his 350 plus.
Okay. Got a feeling I saw them down at the pizza shop last night, so I'm pretty sure he's carved up and ready to go.
Yeah, looks stocking up on some carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Weighed in at 100.4 today.
So he's pretty light.
Yeah, for the 105s,
Yeah.
all the guys and girls, when they in a weight class, yeah, they prefer to stay around their top range. A lot of them will actually train a couple of kilos, a few kilos above their weight class,
Right.
and cut down a few weeks out.
Yeah.
He is one of the lighter lifters.
He's shorter in height.
Very good limb length for
He has.
squatting.
I was just observing his overall physique, and he's perfectly proportioned, isn't he?
3-3-5 on the bar. And he handles the weight pretty well. That's what they say
Just
about
check the depth.
And not deep enough.
None of them liked it.
And look, you know, with their physique, with the knee wraps, with the squat suit, it can be really tough to get down. So that you won't even see them throw on an extra few kilos to help push him down a little bit. Tommy Martha from Finland, 360 kilograms.
So quite the jump now.
And we're going to see some really big numbers. We've got an opening squat from Chinese Taipei, Yang at 400 kegs.
Nice.
Tommy Marta, 360 kilograms on the bar.
I've got a feeling he's quite a good deadlifter. Tommy.
He has a 302.5 deadlift from 2017. That looks pretty solid. A little bit shaky on the way up. Not deep enough again.
Let's have a look at the side here. You're looking for that crease in the hip to go.
He's just a little bit shy, isn't he? It's
Yeah.
very hard to see from this angle, but it just looks a little shy on that. You know, a lot of these guys will actually do mobility training work to try and work on that. Because at these weight classes, you get up into the 105s, the 120s, the 120 pluses, it starts to get really hard physically, even without the suit, to get down to that depth. So they really have to train on that. And if you're new to powerlifting and you're just starting out, you should be training to depth every single time.
Oh,
if you're not
absolutely.
hitting depth in training, and or your coach is telling you are, and you're not, get a new coach.
So we're back up the top now for the second lifts of these gentlemen.
So we're into our second lifts, 262.5 for Fongaro.
Whoop, he didn't like that.
Just couldn't quite get his footing right, and this is why we say you want to be ready to go on the platform as soon as they call Blah loaded, because he has only got 17 seconds to get this where he wants it.
He's struggling to get comfortable
really
and balanced
struggling
there.
to lock
Now
out.
he's right. Oh, no.
Now that was a very, very mature athlete there.
That's right.
As he went down, he
He
felt
knew
he was losing balance.
he was out of
Stood
balance.
straight back up. The spotters were onto it as well.
So it didn't feel right from the start. I don't know if he's got an issue on one side, on his knee or one leg there, but I sensed that something wasn't feeling as strong as it needed to.
Alasyakin from Mongolia, 295 kilograms, goes onto the bar. He is a big, big man.
What age is he? He's born in 92, so he looks young.
He does look very young, so he's a 92, so he's pretty sure Chrissy's counting on her fingers.
And what, 24? 26.
Chrissy ran out of fingers. 26 years of age, he is very young. He's got a long way to go in his career, but he gets the 3 white lights. We always talk about how long your career is in powerlifting, and men particularly tend not to reach their peak in powerlifting until their mid-30s or even late 30s
Even
in some
later,
cases.
and much later even, because I've interviewed many men at the world level, and they're masters. They're
Yeah, we
masters
have
one.
many of the world champions in the Open are actually masters lifters.
Yeah, and they're still getting stronger.
Michael Fernandez Varantes from Costa Rica, 310 kilograms.
Now he's really got to get his head into this. I'm not sure if he's an inexperienced lifter or not, but he just seemed a little spooked on that first time he came out,
Yeah,
but
just
this
didn't-
looks a lot
just
better.
didn't quite have the
Looks settled
confidence
right
there.
now.
Sinks it deep.
He's definitely a
That looks
workhorse.
a lot better.
The referee say it's a good
There we
He's
go.
got the nerves out of the road and puts it on the board. Now John Wesley coming all the way from Canada. 310 kilograms on the bar.
John Wesley coming from Canada. And he is followed by his
So,
Now that is his last name coming. I'm not saying he's coming from Canada.
oh, he's
His
not-
last
he's
name
coming
is
from
coming,
Canada. Yeah.
but he is coming from Canada.
now John's got extremely tight knee wraps.
You can see him walking up the ramp and across the platform.
Yeah, he's got no bend whatsoever in the knees. That's how he likes it.
And this will be his best lift to date, I think. 292 and a half, the Canadian Powerlifting Championships this year. Gets comfortable, he has that wide stance.
Oh, it's a beautiful
Very
lift as long as
smooth
it's
all
stepped
the way through.
with that. Here we go.
And he gets it on the board. And you'll see, notice that wide stance. Some of the guys, particularly in the heavier weights, will choose for a wide stance. It just gives them that big base of support.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
disadvantage is it makes it very, very difficult to open the hips up to get down into that depth. But he has got that managed quite well.
Look, he has, and you haven't got as far to lift it, frankly. It's a bit like the same principle with the sumo and the conventional. It's not that far down when you're wide, and it's not that far up. But are you strong enough to hold the weight down the bottom there? Totally different group of muscles working.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. Adrian Locke from Canada now, 322 and a half. Plenty of room to move. He has a massive personal best of 340.
So Adrian's got himself wrapped, and he's out there a good 10 seconds earlier this time, and he's very businesslike. He just squeezes under the bar and gets on with it.
He arrived early to the office this time.
So he's got a little time to settle himself now. And
I think that's a really important thing for athletes and coaches alike. You really want to be ready to go. You don't want to be having to rush things.
Oh, this is a beautiful squat. Another one. Oh, wow.
Stands up very, very well.
It's got a great sort of upright posture. And it's actually really mechanically nice looking lift when you look at it.
Gets it
And
on the board.
that's the sort of technique that you can sustain for a long time. I really think we're going to see more and more of him.
Onto the platform now, 330 kilograms. Kangasviri from Finland. I have noticed you leave all the hard names for me.
I expect this gentleman will be deadlifting quite well, just looking at him. Nope. Something didn't feel right. And
He
he's
still
got
has 30
28
seconds,
so
28
he
seconds up his
can
sleeve.
actually go again if he wants to. It's whether or not he will. The crowd's giving him a bit of a
And this is the
encouragement
advantage of getting to that platform
in time.
without wasting time.
Nope,
No,
he doesn't
he's not
like
happy
it.
with that. There's something
Nope.
not quite right.
Maybe his head's out of it, whatever it is.
The way he's walking is more than just a knee wrap. He was walking a bit lopsided there. We'll see what happens though. Takahito Akutsu from Japan, 335, having missed this on his opening lift. And in the second group, Rubits from the Ukraine is opening at 400 as well now. 335.
The Japanese have sent another big team here this year. They master technicians,
They
very
are,
technically
and
minded.
they're extremely good at adapting to conditions as well. In Canada, at the Open Classic, they were held up by a typhoon coming from Japan. We actually held back the start of the competition so they could arrive.
Wow.
They got here, they competed, and boy did they
Cleaned
do
up.
well.
Well done. Very focused. Oh, sensational
Sits back
squat.
well. Let's see if he
That
got depth on this one.
is amazing.
And he does. He gets the 2 white lights, and that's all you need.
But just have a look at this side on, Gary. Look at the way the upper body,
He sits back. His chest is up. His head is up.
fantastic angle there. And that's how you do it.
Tommy Martha from Finland, 3-6-5.
I think Tommy missed this. Yeah, okay. So
Welcome to the platform, Tommy Mette.
This is his best lift to date, and he missed his opening lift, and we said that they might throw on a few extra kilos just to help getting down to the bottom, and they've done just that. He missed the 360. They've thrown on 5. His best lift is 363.
So this will be a personal best for him.
Does the extra 5 kilos push him down? It does. It looks like it's pushed him in there.
Looks fantastic. The weight's heavy enough to get him down. He stood up, and
he
it's
did.
a good lift.
Also a good lift.
So that extra 5 kilos help push him down through the knee wraps and the suit. And we'll come around to our third round now with Ricardo Fongaro from Brazil. 262.5 now. He missed this on his second. Just couldn't balance. Just got an awkward walk out.
Both loaded. Welcome.
So hopefully he's put that out of his mind, and it's just going to get under the bar and
Well, he has a great
take
coach in his
control.
corner.
He certainly has.
We saw him compete.
Coimbra.
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 David Coimbra. We watched him compete yesterday, and he was on fire.
Brazil. Okay, that's better.
Sits back.
Yes.
Looks like he might have cut it shy, though. Let's wait and see.
Let him see to get to the top.
Gets back up there. Let's see what the referees say.
It was hard work.
Not deep enough. And looks like he got a blue card
He
there
got
as well.
blues. I'm concerned about the lockout at the top.
Yeah, I don't think he was quite able to get back to the start position.
Is followed by
We've got a nice angle here on the replay. Looks like he was short
He
anyway.
struggles to lock the knees
And he-
out and get fully
Yeah, look, he
back.
just
It's
doesn't
soft.
really lock the
Yeah,
knees.
it's definitely soft at the top.
But what a good effort.
Yeah, really great.
Amasyakan from Mongolia, 305 kilograms on the bar now.
Now, I expect he'll be pretty competitive in the bench press. The Mongolians are known for their benching. And just running my eye down that list, I would say I'm right about that.
Well, he's done a 255 in bench only.
So he really is impressing me with his squat technique. Fairly young lifter, fairly new to the international scene.
Well, let's see how
and
he handles 3
clearly well coached.
Sits back very nicely, bounces into the hole, and that's exactly what you want to do. Get the most out of those wraps as you can, and he gets the 3 white lights. He'll be very happy with that.
That's fantastic lifting.
3 from 3. John Wesley Cumming, the Canadian, 317.5 kilograms going on the bar now. These spotters and loaders have got a very tough job during this session.
Oh,
They move
haven't they?
so much weight.
Haven't they? And see if how John takes the extra 7.5 kilo jump here now.
Yeah, look, it's a fairly hefty jump for a third lift, but it's not unusual to see bigger jumps. We do tend to see bigger jumps in equipped lifting than raw.
Mm-hmm.
You'll even see some guys in the squats, particularly when we get into the 120 pluses, they'll be taking 20
kilos.
even 20 plus kilo jumps.
Yeah.
And in equipped lifting, it's not that unusual.
Calls tight from the coach. Keep it tight. Keep it together.
He's a very
Patient.
smooth lifter all the way through. Not fast,
Yeah. I really,
just smooth and controlled, and it gets it on the board
he's
again.
pumped. I
Gets
really
the
enjoy
job
watching
done.
him squat. That's a great technique as a great example of a wide base there, and maintaining that tightness through the lower back the whole way through.
Very well done. And right up now, Michael Fernandez Varantes from Costa Rica, 3:27.5 for a personal best.
He's wrapped pretty tight this time, and let's see if he can get control. He tends to shake around and struggles with the static, just standing with the weight.
Well, let's see if he can manage it this time. He struggled a bit on his opener of 3:10 and couldn't quite get the balance right. Was all over the shop. Handled it well in his second, but this is a big jump right here.
Looks good so far.
Knees
Did he
tracking
cut
a
it
little
short?
there. He may have pulled that up shy. And he has not deep enough. That 17.5 kilos added on. That was a big jump from 3:10 to 3:27.5. And you can see as he went down, he just wasn't confident to go deep with that.
I think that was a confidence issue as well. Yep.
If he had a chance to do it again, he'd probably get it
probably
now
get it.
that he knows he can handle that
Yeah.
weight.
That's the problem, isn't it? You want to have another go at the weight that beat you.
Kangasvieri from Finland, 330 kilograms. He hit 320 as an opener, just had some problems with 330.
So he wants to take it again. No increase. Just got to
He's
get his
not-
footing there.
Not overly steady and confident in the walkout. Depth looks good,
Oh, that
but
that
just
left side.
a little too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, he just hasn't got that strength through the left side, and he got out of balance.
He got really good bounce out of the bottom there. His depth was good. Used the knee wraps in the suit really, really well, but he just couldn't follow it through.
Yeah,
And you
You
can see his
see-
hips started to push forward, his knees push forward.
and that's all over.
Adrian Locke from Canada, 3:35.
And no more changes to the openers from the second group.
So
the openers in the second group cannot make any more changes now to their openers. So they're locked
Adrian
in.
comes charging out. He's pretty fired up for this, Gary.
He certainly is. If we look at the openers for the second group, Rupert's has changed here. The Ukrainian athlete's changed to 4:02.5. He's come here to make an absolute mark on the sport.
I know, I'm watching him.
Adrian Locke, 3:35.
Locke's very motivated here for this one.
He has handled this weight before. So
Okay,
he's no
coach called him
stranger.
up from there, so
That looked extremely easy. And let's see what and it
There
was
we
deep
go.
enough. He's got the two white lights. That's enough.
yeah, he's stoked, Gary.
Takahito from Japan,
So-
next lifter.
I knew you'd use the stoked again.
From Finland.
Takahito Akutsu from Japan, 3:45. Let's see how many times Chrissy can use. He's stoked in one session.
Oh, I'm happy to use it. It's a good situation to be stoked with your lift.
345.
It's better than being stapled.
Well, this is very true.
Takahito.
3:45 on the bar, well under his personal best of 3:57.5.
All right, he's just taking his time coming out. I think he is coming out, but
We see some movement from the technical control officer there. Here he comes now.
yeah, he's going to have to get to
He's
business,
really
get to work
gonna
pretty
have to
quickly.
move fast. He's left himself less than 30 seconds on the clock. So he gets to the platform and he gets to the bar at 25 seconds to spare. That is not a lot of time.
So this is one of the factors in equipped lifting is your equipment, your apparel.
It
Takes
is
extra time.
All about timing. You know, you don't want to have those knee wraps on too early, but you don't want to be wrapping when they're calling bar loaded either.
Oh, he's down to 7 seconds and he hasn't got the call yet. Got it
Wow,
in 2 seconds.
just got in there by the skin of his teeth, didn't he?
Okay, pops it up.
Super fast lift. Let's
Was
see
it
what the
deep enough?
referees say about that. And it is. He gets
Good
2 to
lift.
1.
That's amazing.
Wow, he cut
Comes
that
out.
fine, didn't he? 2 seconds to spare.
Yeah. Pops it down, stands straight back up as if it's nothing.
And Tommy Marta from Finland is put on a massive 372.5.
Okay. He's trying to make up for lost ground, I think,
Yeah,
Gary,
look,
where he missed the opener.
He missed the opener. They put some more weight on, and he helped push him down. But he's still really, even at 365, he still really looked like he was fighting to get down to depth. Maybe a 372.5 will really push him in there and get that bounce out.
I tell you, that suit is so tight that I can just almost feel what that feels like when you're trying to get down in the hole with a suit like that.
It is one of the hardest things to do. It's so tight, I reckon they started putting it on him last night.
Spray painted.
You're going to need extra time for him to get out of it. That certainly, even that weight was hard to get down.
It was hard. He can't go any lower, I don't think.
Not deep enough.
I honestly,
he had
looking
no
at
problems with the weight on his back.
he's got no ability to get lower with that suit. He's having a look at himself on the replay, and he probably feels a bit ripped off by the way he responded.
Well, going by the crowd, I'm guessing the next lifter is Swedish, and it is just that. Eric Gunham from Sweden, 335.
And he starts us off with that second round of lifting.
335 kilograms on the board.
So it's a sea of yellow there in the grandstand.
Crowds are getting bigger and bigger. We've brought in more chairs for the rest of the week.
Every camera is on Eric.
335.
Oh, wow.
I think he almost smiled there.
Sensational.
3 white lights, what a way to open.
He gave the crowd what they were looking for.
Martin Lung from Germany now, 345.
Wow.
Getting bigger and bigger. This is getting huge. Are we going to see Rupert's go for a junior world record of 433? He's opening at 4025.
Martin.
Dietmar Wolf in his corner there. You couldn't ask for anyone better to be in his corner. This should be his biggest lift to date, 345.
So he's gotten stronger this year.
He did a 340 this year at the European Championships, a 330 earlier this year, and now looking at 345. He is just going through the roof.
He's in good condition. I don't think he's carrying any injuries. He's got 3 lifts here to get a PB.
Sits back nicely, knees are out.
Oh, there it
gets
is.
Good depth.
Oh, come now.
Pushes the hips
There
through
it
and he's
is.
back to the top.
Marvellous.
And 3 white lights.
And he's made the coach happy there.
Kristoffer Eklund from Norway,
Oh.
347.5.
Chris is one of my favourite lifters. Remember at the World Games, he deadlifted and then fainted.
I do remember that.
And I spoke to him afterwards and he said, yeah, I'm fine. I just don't remember anything.
Oh, that's absolutely fine.
He's got a
347.5 on the bar for Christopher.
He's got a lot of heart. Very courageous lifter. Very strong World Games lifter.
And that's in powerlifting. Heart can turn into world championships very quickly.
Oh.
Easy lift.
My
Was
word.
he down further enough? And he was. 3 white lights and it's on the board.
Yeah.
So we load the bar up now
He
to
is serious.
350.
He's followed by Chintov from Russia.
Another Mongolian lifter here.
What's his name, Chrissy?
His name is
Boss loading, welcome to the
Deshvengib.
platform. Tulemyagan Dachevge from
Dashem-
Yeah.
Deshven-
From Mongolia, 350 kilograms is on the bar.
And of course, Mongolia hosted the Masters World Championships this year.
They certainly did. What a
Yes.
fantastic event.
Absolutely brilliant. So Mongolia, relatively new nation to the IPF, and they've come a long way in the last few years. They're lifters and themselves as a sports federation, understanding what it is to be IPF powerlifter and powerlifting federation.
Well, Tamajagul from Mongolia is about to show us how good he is. 350 kilograms.
Oh, he's off balance, but he
You can
stands up.
see his head dropped a little too much there too.
He was fighting.
Let's have a look at the replay.
Sorry,
Unfortunately,
sorry.
no lift. Let's
Just
have a look at the
this
replay
replay
here.
here.
360 for Sergei.
Well, he sits back well there.
It's an interesting. It's
And watch
interesting
his
what's
head.
happened. Yeah, he came to. Yeah, he started to get on his toes. Never a good feeling for the lifter, but to
No.
his credit, he pulled it back.
We
but
talk about the bar going where you're looking all the time, and if you start looking down, it just shifts that chest forward. And there are some great lifters. Don't get me wrong, there are some fantastic, amazing world champion lifters that tend not to lift their head up, but you could see it really threw him forward. But right now, Sergei Mashintsov from Russia, 360 kilograms. Now, in my defense there, when they translate their names to English, it's really hard to read, much easier in Russian. Fast
Sergey.
squat. Very, very fast.
Easy lift. And it's
3 white lights.
Almost hard to believe. He ran off.
lifter.
I don't think I've ever seen
platform.
anyone run off the platform so quickly.
But have
Everyone
you
just
seen?
moved out of the road then just in case he couldn't stop.
But have you seen anyone do an opener that quickly?
That was so fast.
Followed by Sergei.
That was really amazing. And
Walgermo with 360 from Norway.
Welcome to
And
the
there's
platform.
plenty of Norwegians in the crowd.
plenty of Norwegians here. And the Swedish people are definitely encouraging him as well.
Always love watching him walk to the platform. He just casually strolls
Yeah,
up. Yeah,
yeah, just-
you know what? I think I'll lift 360
I think
today.
I'll do this. Also in the Super Centurion there, I've seen that quite a lot here today. The Titan gear.
Very confident
Yeah,
with
I
that
was
bar
just
on
going
his
to say,
back.
very settled
Looks
lifter.
very casual.
Pops it.
Sinks it in. Ah, look at that.
And why wouldn't you be?
That was a very cool, calm and casual lift. And he just strolls back off again, all cool and casual.
Exactly, his demeanour. He's just so calm about it all. He's enjoying his lifting. He's not stressed.
Sergei Vidulyi from the Ukraine, 395. Well under his personal best of 407.5.
Now, Billy is continuing to impress us with his lifting and his career.
Yeah, look, he has got a monster deadlift on him too.
Yeah, he actually was the second best overall lifter at the World Games behind Fedoshenko. So this gentleman,
And I'll tell you what, to stand up there in the presence of someone like Fedoshenko,
so second
saying
only
you
to
finished
him
second to him, that's
as
pretty
championship
impressive.
overall best in the championship is really sensational. He impressed us at World Games.
And here he goes. A little bit-
He's just off balance. He's
a
getting a
little bit-
half
his
twist.
knees came a little bit forward. He didn't really sit back, but boy, did he recover that well. That is an absolute show of strength to recover that, because he really came forward. Those knees really never really sat back into it. You watch the replay here, he just doesn't sit
The
back.
replay. Now watch what happens when he comes up here. He
Boy,
gets,
does he recover that well. That is a massive amount of weight to recover. But right now, Sen Yang, Chinese Taipei, I absolutely love this kid.
1 minute.
And
Sen
boy,
Yang.
hasn't he gotten strong though.
oh yes, He has gotten strong. Is a gentleman who absolutely loves powerlifting, loves his powerlifting
400
family.
kilos.
And we see him as part of the Chinese Taipei contingent year after year.
And I just love how he has a different hairstyle every year. Head comes up. Wow, he has gotten so strong. 400. It's on the board.
Oh, he's pumped. The first 400 we've seen here.
And such a nice kid.
Today.
This guy will give you the shirt off his back.
And coach is absolutely ecstatic with that.
Well, right now, this man, Alexander Rubits from the Ukraine, still a junior lifter, looking at 4025.
Yeah, he's only 22 years of age, and he is really taking it to his teammate, Bilya, and who is about 6 years older than him. So this gentleman's still young and up and coming. He's got youth on his side, and I think he will go further and further and eclipse Bilya in the long run.
Look, he's got a huge, huge future. Gets the squat command.
Oh,
Wow, 402.5, it's on the board.
Ukrainian power right there.
I've had the pleasure of announcing so many of his lifts, and for some reason, I just love announcing his lifts. And he is such a big guy. And we come around for the second attempts now with Eric Gunham from Sweden, 347.5.
So how much has he gone up there, Gary?
So he started at 335, and now he's knocked it up to 12.5 kilos, 347.5.
Because that first lift was something sensational to see.
Here he is, and he looks confident. He's got a smile. He's got a little bit of a smile on his face walking out.
He looks light, Gary. Oh my goodness, he's only 98 kilos.
Very light for a 105.
He's a very light 105.
So we've got 3 gentlemen on the board now with predicted totals over 1,000 kilos.
He squeezes in. He's got a really nice tight setup there. Just gets his feet in the right spot. Oh,
A little bit of a stagger through the middle.
it was a bit messy, Gary. I think he cut it short.
A little bit out of line there, and he did, a little bit shy. He knows what he did wrong.
I think that must be family in the crowd because they're chewing their nails.
Kalmanjagul from Mongolia, 350 goes on the bar. He missed this on his opener. Let's see if he can get it on the board now.
Welcome to the platform.
I think it was a depth issue, was it, last time?
Just
trying to
couldn't
recall.
really get down there.
Yep.
Got a little bit off balance.
That's right. So that first squat's out of the way now. He's been up here, so hopefully...
He needs to get that head up and get that chest up.
That's right. His head came forward, didn't it? So if he can keep his line coming up...
Yeah, you'll see lifters, there are some lifters that don't lift with their head up, but you'll see their head stays in exactly the same position through the whole lift. And he moves his head forward.
He does.
And he does it again.
He cranks it.
And you can see how he just pushed his head forward, and he came to a complete stop.
He's not going, and he's grabbing his lower back there. He's not going to be able to get a lift on the board doing that. He's cranking his head and his neck.
As he comes up, there goes the head, and the bar just pushes everything forward. But right now, Martin Lung from Germany, 352.5 on the bar. It is going to heat up here.
Yeah, the German team have been working for some years now on their equipped lifting program and really trying to bring the standard up with the equipped lifting. They were trying to field a a bit of a team for World Games, but
If this competition is anything to go by, the entire standard of equipped lifting across every country is through the roof.
yeah.
Elliot and I were talking yesterday how every competition we call, we say it can't get better than this, and then every time competition we go to, it gets better.
Yeah.
Good depth. He's having to work
Dietmar
hard.
calls him up, and it's a beautiful looking squat.
Really good fight. And a good
3
lift, good
white
lift.
lights.
I just feel that with Dietmar at the helm now, with the German powerlifting, with the equipped there, I think we're going to see some fantastic lifters coming through.
And we're already starting to see the difference in their attitude and their discipline, the way they respond to their coach. Christopher from Norway, 360 kilograms.
He's a hard worker, and he just gets under the bar and lifts it up. No mucking around, gets to business.
Depth is good, speed is
Oh,
good,
look
smile
at
is
that.
good. 3 white lights and everyone's happy.
On point.
He is just having the time of his life out
He
there today.
skips off the platform.
You don't see many people skip, let alone a 105 lifter.
Not gentlemen, no.
Well done,
Stian,
Mo, from
well-
Norway, 370. Plenty of room for him to move. He's got a personal best of 392.5.
Another cool, calm customer.
Yeah, look, he just casually strolls out to the platform.
You know, there's no carry on. There's no
Every
alpha male.
competition, he's like that. He's casually strolls. Oh, I think
Yeah.
I'll lift 370 today.
Yeah.
And then he'll lift it and he'll casually stroll off. Yeah, that was good. A beautiful sight. All those Alico plates
Isn't
lined
it
up.
just? Oh,
He's having to work there. Just could have mistimed the left and the right, but he gets it to the top. And it's 3 white lights, and he just casually walks off.
but his technique is faultless, and
And that's what pulled him through there, his technique. He relied on it. He trusted it.
yeah, and what you can be assured of is a lifter will fight to come up. It's their instinct to fight and do whatever they've got to do to stand back up again. It's really about getting, as you've said, the line, the timing, those things, because the fight is guaranteed.
Sergei Mashinkov from Russia, 380 kilograms. I am sure there are plenty of people back home in Russia watching it right now.
As he goes for a walk with the
Yeah, just takes it
380?
for a bit of a stroll.
straight down, straight up. Was it deep enough, Gary?
Let's have a look.
The only question.
And it
And it
is
is.
on the board. I think that's the happiest I have seen his coach
He runs.
in every competition. His coach actually put his hands in the air with a bit of a cheer.
But he runs away.
Well, you know,
He jogs.
it was a good lift.
It was a good lift.
Sergei Vilyi from the Ukraine, 405 on the bar. Just shy of his personal best of 407.5.
He's got a bit of work to do in his competition to take this championship from his teammate. He's a 2-time world champion. And unfortunately, he bombed this year at Europeans in the squat, I believe it was.
Well, he certainly hasn't this time round.
Yep.
And you know the weights are heavy. When you see an Alico bar start to flex like that, you know there's a lot of weight, because Alico bars are pretty hard to bend.
It's bending, Gary. Oh, he's
Gets
got
a bit of a
half
twist,
turn
but he's
happening.
working through it. He's
He's got
gets the
the
head
chin
up.
up.
The
He
head comes
cannot,
up.
he cannot.
Just a little bit too much.
He tried every trick in the book
He
there.
put in a big, big fight. The only downside of that, he's used a lot of energy fighting that lift.
You see what he does right at the end when he thinks, I can't stand up, I'm going to pull my head up
And he
to see if
pushes
it'll
his
come.
head up, and you can see it just started to move a little bit more too. He almost got it through there.
He tries so hard to pull himself back online, but he can't do it.
All right now, Sen Yang, Chinese Taipei, 412.5 kilograms. Here he goes.
I've been watching his training videos, and that's fantastic.
I think the entire Chinese Taipei crowd timed
Their response
him
just
getting
then.
under the bar.
Yeah.
His rack height looks a little bit high. All right, this is going to mess with his confidence a little bit there. Wow, that is some absolute maturity though. He got off balance on the walkout, not deep enough, but look at the maturity. He got off balance on the walkout. The spotters actually put their arm around him. He regathered, he stood straight and still did the lift. Just didn't quite get down low enough.
Look, Gary, I have to say that was all kinds of messy for me.
It was all over the shop. Alexander Ruperts from the Ukraine, 415 on the bar. And he is actually the world junior record holder at 433.
And there's only 9 kilos in their total separating him from his teammate Vilja.
Wow.
With Ruperts coming in with the lighter total. But I have to say, yeah, so far he's looking like he's got more control, more in him. And we could be looking at the world champion down the track.
You look at the walkout there.
Oh.
But you look at the walkout and it wasn't difficult. I mean, the bar just didn't look heavy at all.
Look, and this is what I mean. There's no struggle here whatsoever.
Yeah,
This is
415,
well within
we're on
him.
our second lift, and it still looks like a warm-up.
Yeah, it does.
Eric Gunham from Sweden, 350 kilograms. We are into the third round now.
So Eric's elected to take a little bit more weight on this to the lift that he just tried, the second attempt. He's just put another 2.5 on there.
And these third lifts are really important, particularly for guys like Ruperts, Billy. They're important lifts. If they get them on the board, you got an opportunity. Ruperts gets his third on the board. Billy misses. All of a sudden, that 20-kilo gap becomes 10 kilos.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's about believing in yourself and running your own race,
And
getting all your lifts.
Ruperts is playing the long game, and he's not interested in another record because he's only put 430 on the bar.
Right. But Eric now,
He wants to be world champion. Eric Gunham, 350 kilograms.
he feels he prefers this weight to the last. I'm still
I
concerned
swear
about...
he is smiling the entire lift. And he gets deep enough. The two side referees and the crowd goes crazy. Everyone wearing an Eric Gunham shirt. Uman Yagal from Mongolia, 350 kilograms, is on the bar now, and he is in a world of trouble. Missed his opener, missed his second, and he just keeps throwing that head forward and down, and it's throwing him off balance.
Look, the spotters are giving him the come on, and they don't want to have to catch this either. So everybody wants him to get this. And you're right, there's something difficult to understand about his technique as he comes up. Why he's doing that, I'm not sure if that's a normal thing or if it's just the weight is this much heavier for him. Let's see, this looks good. He
And
rounds
there
at the
goes
top.
the head again. He
Do you know, I
drops
think
the head and the shoulders forward.
he may have a lower back injury because he's got no tightness through the lower
Well,
back.
he really needs to focus on pulling the elbows through and lifting the chest up. Watch his elbows on this. They go back and not forward. And that's pushing everything else over. Martin Lung from Germany, 3:57.5 now. Had a good opener, a good second, and has just thrown on a 5 kilo for his third, which is a smart, very smart move. And how can you not make smart moves when you've got Dietmar Wolf in your corner?
Yeah, well, Dietmar's in control here of the attempt selection. He knows what he's looking at and he knows his athletes, and this is where athletes at this level need to be working with a coach who understands them and knows those subtle signs of how they're doing in order to make smart attempt selections.
Three, 5, 7, 5. This will put him at 9-12 total.
He becomes so still when he's ready to squat. Oh, he gets the elbows back.
Look at
that was magnificent. He might have done a few blood vessels in the eyes, but it's worth it. 3
white lights. Even the coach is smiling and giving the fist pump. And here comes Christopher from Norway, 3:67.5. He is having an absolute ball today.
Christopher.
And now this is really good coaching here. He is at the chalk bath, ready to go when they call bar loaded.
Yep.
Giving himself plenty of time to set up. And he's gone 2:4.75, 3:60, 3:67.5 for a personal best.
Very popular lifter with all the nations.
So one of the great things I love about powerlifting is how everyone just cheers for
each
everyone.
other. Yeah.
And you'll be watching
We're a
guys
family.
lift, and half the other lifters are coming out from the warm-up room to see them lift.
Oh, yes.
He's
he
working
sticks
it, he's working it, he's locking
all
the
way.
knees. There's that smile. And there it is, it's on the board.
And he's their hero.
What a lift. And right now, Sergei Mashinkov from Russia, 3:9.5 on the bar. And this will put him at a 9:90 total. And as these lifts go up, more and more of these predicted totals go above 1,000. We now have 3 lifters predicted total above 1,000. And this one's going to put Mashinkov very, very close to that as well.
Okay, this is a pressure lift for him because the last lift was, he really worked hard for it, and I think this will test him.
Yeah, this one's really important too because it keeps him
up there,
just in touch, in
touch.
Those medals.
And if he can stick this, he stays in contention. But he will have to work really hard for this one.
He looks comfortable.
Drops it in.
Yeah, that was easy, but was it deep enough? Let's have a look.
It looked good to me.
And it is. It's on the board. 3 white lights, and there he goes running down.
He runs away again. The Russian coach.
And that was a really important lift to keep him in touch with those top 3. And right now, Sergei Bildy from the Ukraine at 4:05. And again, now he missed this on his second attempt. A super important lift now.
I think the Russian realises he's got a whiff of a chance here because Billier's not having the best, the perfect run.
And when you get to this level of these competitions, you know, a couple of mistakes from a lifter, and all of a sudden you see the door crack open, and if you put your foot in there, you might just go through for a medal.
One missed lift will change the whole dynamics of the finish. Billier must
here's
get
a perfect
this.
example. If he misses this, he adds nothing to his predicted total. If he gets it, it was his second attempt. He only adds 10 kilos to his predicted total.
But he's definitely being tested by the weight here.
Just doesn't look comfortable under the bar.
Oh, he's got that twist going again.
Fight it though. He's fought it. He gets to the top.
Better, but he collapses at the top. He can't
he just
lock it out.
It looked like he could get back to the lock position. He gave it everything he had, and that could be the lift that opens up the door for the bronze medal.
Yep.
Sen Yang from Chinese Taipei, 4:12.5.
Yeah, there's something definitely amiss there. I've never seen him quite like that, and he couldn't hold it at the top. It just took so much out of him. He started to fold back over.
And he has burnt so much energy on those last 2 lifts now.
I'll tell you, I just spotted the Russian in the warm-up room just now, and he's delighted.
I imagine he'd be quite happy with that.
Yeah.
Sen Yang, Chinese Taipei, 412.5. Had a little bit of trouble handling this weight of the walkout last time, and it really unsettled his confidence. His lift was all over the shop.
He's one of those lifters that gets the shakes a bit. I think that ponytail may exaggerate it.
Yeah, it just can't quite get his balance. He's re-racking. Yeah, for him, this is a really important lift. The 412.5 puts him in a predicted total of 1,012 and actually puts him in the standings or in the shot of a medal. This could really hurt.
Oh,
He's all over
no.
the shop.
That is just way too heavy, Gary.
He just really couldn't handle that. So that's going to really change things here. The doors are opening left, right and centre.
Aren't they?
Someone leaves the window open, you're going to get robbed.
Well, it's great news for the Russian because he's now just 5 kilos off the second place getter. So his day's getting better and better.
Well, right now, Alexander Ruperts from the Ukraine, 430 kilograms on the bar. He's no stranger to this weight. He is the world junior record holder at 433.
Look, how impressive is he, though? His composure at such high weights.
Well, when he hit the 415, I would not have been surprised to see him go for the record. But he's playing the long game. He's here for the World Championship, not the record.
That's a way to go.
He wants that overall gold medal.
He wants the medal and he wants the team points for Ukraine.
And again, it just doesn't, when he stands there, it just doesn't look heavy on his back when he stands there. Oh, wow. He is giving everyone a squat lesson today.
Squat lesson.
It is a seminar with Ruperts from the Ukraine, 3 white lights, and it's on the board. Well, don't go too far away because in 10 minutes, we're going to see what happens in the bench press, and all sorts of things have happened here. The door's been opened. Someone left the window open. Someone's going to get robbed. Who knows what's going to happen. 10 minutes time, we'll be right back here to take you through all the action. Welcome back to Halmstad, Sweden, the IPF World Open Powerlifting Championships 2018. And we are just about to get underway in the bench press. Before we do, a big shout out to our sponsors, Alico. Their motto is to raise the bar, and they just keep raising it higher and higher. They are the world leaders in strength equipment, and no one is going to argue with that. Uplift, of course, a fantastic online training platform with only the best coaches. If you want to find a coach, that's where you want to go. Download the app from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store and get online and find your coach. And of course, SBD, makers of the finest powerlifting equipment in the world. We are 1 minute and 10 seconds away from starting the bench press, and I am here again with Chrissy, champion Chamberlain from Tasmania, taking us through the action.
Yeah. Thank you, Gary. Talk about Uplift. I was talking to the guys from Uplift here, and if you live in a rural or remote area, or you're out of the popular areas, and you struggle to have a coach consistently, or even a coach at all, or a very high level coach who's trained in the modern techniques, that Uplift is really the thing for you.
And they are only the best coaches. I've been through the interview process.
Okay.
I had to sit through an interview with a PhD doctor in the US who asked me questions that I hadn't thought about since the days of university.
When you were doing your PhD.
It was tough.
Okay.
I came out of the room sweating and, oh my God.
Really?
But so it is only the best coaches on there.
And this is it, Gary. I mean, we can't all have access to such high-level coaches, but this solves this problem. And a lot of us live out of areas where we can't get access to people who have the cutting edge on all aspects. So this has just completely solved the problem of not being able to have a program, etc. But we're ready for a start, I think, Gary.
We certainly are. Ricardo Fungaro from Brazil, 155, and we have seen all sorts of action in the squats. We've seen doors open, doors close. It is going to come right down to the last lift today.
It is, but I'm not writing off Billy yet, because he's got the deadlift.
Yeah, look, and that's what it's going to come down to. Someone's going to have to pull for the win. 155 on the bar. Powers it off the chest. Lose a little bit of speed there, but managed to muscle that left arm through. And it's on the board at 155.
So a pretty good opener there. Just took off very fast for him off the chest, and he just had to catch up with it, actually. And then it was a bit of a job to get the elbows right under the bar to lock it out.
And to give you an idea of how ridiculously powerful these guys are, the world record is 324 kilograms.
You know, I remember the days when that was a super heavyweight bench.
Yeah, and now we're in the 105s.
Yep.
Michael Fernandez Barantes from Costa Rica, 190 kilograms.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see Michael bench press. He's certainly a courageous and hard-working squatter. But I'm just really curious to see how he tackles the bench. Now, he's quite a flat bencher by the look of it.
Hasn't got a huge arch.
Oh, wow.
Gets it straight off the chest very fast. There's a really nice curve in that backward movement there, and gets the 3 white lights on the board.
Yeah, he just threw it back. And he's
That's
got plenty of
technique.
power there. But there's a little bit of sort of instability laterally.
Yeah, losing a little bit of energy through there.
1 minute.
And now we have Canadian taking the platform. Adrian Locke, 197.5. Giving some instructions there to the spotter how he wants the bar lifted off. You know, a really important thing to do. You want that bar, when they let go, in just the right position. You don't want to be trying to moving that sort of weight around in space.
So
197.5.
Adrian's got his knees splayed out, and very splayed out foot position. which should give him some really, wow.
That was a really good angle on that bar. It was fast and smooth all the way through. If you have a look at the replay here, you might get a side view, and you can see the angle of that bar. He gets a little bit out of shape coming out of the chest, but he gets it to where he wants it, and then straight back.
But he's got this fantastic drive through the legs there with that foot position, and it helps to keep his butt down on the bench because his heels, because his feet are splayed
That's
out.
right, he's pushing back, not up.
Correct.
Kangasveri from Finland, 2:27.5.
I like the suit.
He's got the Titan flames going there.
Oh. That's a tighter shirt there. Just throws it up.
Yeah, these are good opening selections. And we talk about it all the time, how important that opening attempt is and picking it correctly. And so far, these guys are spot on the numbers. John Wesley coming all the way from Canada, 2:35.
Honestly, Gary,
I have to have my moments.
must we endure them as well? 2:35.
Let's see how he handles this. So he benched 2:35 at the Canadian National Championships this year.
Right.
Previous to that, I have very little information.
Okay. So he's gotten stronger, and it's now his opener.
This will give us a really good indication of how his training's been going. This is a 2:35. He did this at the National Championships, and we know that at National Championships they don't necessarily go all out. They need to save themselves a little bit for this.
That's a fantastic
and
lift.
That was a very good indicator that he has lots of room to move.
Honestly, that was delightful to watch. Look at this touch. He makes a beeline for the spot and he hits it just perfectly, and he's up and out and underneath as quick as you like. That's
Hasn't wasted energy on
his
that.
bench is just going to get better and better with that technique.
Takahito
Stronger and stronger, I should say.
Akutsu from Japan, 2:55. And
Whoa,
they have
the
pulled
shirt is
the
jacked.
chest down as far as they can get it.
Okay, so in doing so,
So they've tightened. So by pulling that chest panel down, what it does is essentially it creates a tighter stretch across the chest. Now
Yep.
the downside to this is if he hasn't got enough weight on that bar, it's going to be very, very hard to get it to his chest.
so the work you're going to see here is on the descent. He's going to be working very hard to get this bar down and on the right position.
Hopefully 2:55 is enough to not have to fight too much. He's really having
Now
to
he's
pull
struggling.
it down. And it's worked.
It
He got
played off.
plenty of power off the chest there.
Really did, but you saw exactly what you were saying there, Gary, that as he got within 3 inches of the chest and then 2 inches, he really had to drag it down. He's using biceps to drag it
Really
down.
having to pull it down there. But it's paid off in the end. Now Tommy Mata, 2:55 as well. And you can watch, as all these guys walk out and set up, watch the differences in the way they've set their shirts.
Yeah.
And watch the change between lifts as well.
Because there's an incredible variation in bodies in the 105s. There's tall, there's short, there's stocky, there's lean.
Yeah, there's all different physiology.
Yeah.
So
So
there's so much the coaches can do to get that little extra. And again, it's really working down through the shirt there.
Ooh.
And now we talk about it in the past, how the shirts tend to have a mind of their own. That was a really good example there.
And that's what's happened
So
there.
the shirt wants to pull you in one direction. You've got to fight that.
It started to roll back in his hands there.
He's
and
touched a little bit low as well by the look of it.
Yep, and it's just shot forward towards his face. He can't get underneath it, and that's one of the scary moments in a bench presser's life is when the bar does that to you, there is no way you can stop that from happening once it's that
And
chain
the
of events
spotters
is in.
are super fast on that though. Amasyakin from Mongolia, 265 on the bar. Now you can see they've twisted those sleeves in a little bit there.
Yeah.
And this is going to give him a lot of stretch. And you can see how tight that is. He's going to have to roll his body a little bit to try and get his hands on the bar.
And so it feels quite uncomfortable now for him, but where he will appreciate this is when he's bringing that bar down and it'll start to feel just right.
Dragging it down. It's got a good line.
Oh, no,
But
he's got a double
he
movement
just
there.
couldn't quite follow that power through it. It shot off the chest, but he just couldn't chase it through. We might get a replay on this.
Look, and we do see this a little bit with the Mongolian bench presses is they put a lot of weight on there, but their command of the equipped apparel isn't probably matched with their natural strength.
And that's the thing about equipped lifting. I mean, it takes years to really understand how to use the equipment at its absolute best. So he's got a long way to go. He's going to be fantastic in a short period of time. Ricardo Fongaro from Brazil, 162.5.
And he's, put 7.5 on there. That should be, that sounds like a good selection from my point of view from that first one.
Yeah, look, 7.5 is a really reasonable jump in equipped lifting. There he goes, gets it to his chest. I don't know if he's really got that where he wants it, and you can tell he's all over the shop. His whole body's shifting and shuffling. His energy just going everywhere. And unfortunately, that's a no lift. You can see his whole body was just shuffling around.
He looks like a lifter who could do with a lot of coaching in the bench. I'm not convinced that his setup is...
You can see he had a lot of trouble getting it to the chest there. He really needs to get that chest higher. Michael Fernandez Varantes from Costa Rica, 205 on the bar.
Yeah, that's a fair jump. He's put 15 on there. He's a very strong man, but has quite unusual technique. He's completely flat there on the bench. And
And that one, you can see he touched pretty low on that. You could probably catch a little bit of the chalk rub off from his previous lift, and it didn't land in the same spot. And now look how flat he is on the bench. He came down very low and just couldn't quite get under it.
No. The shirt really didn't help him as much as it could in that lift.
No, he didn't get a whole lot out of it. Adrian Locke from Canada, 212.5 kilograms on the bar now.
Adrian was impressive with his opener. He's got a great technique.
Now, watch as these lifters come out, and you can see all the shirts, well, nearly all the shirts have a bit of a branding on the sleeve. Watch the position of that branding change as they twist and get the shirt different positions as the weight gets heavier.
Takes advantage of all his lower body strength right about now.
And there it is. That was a very, very well executed lift. Gets the 2 white lights, and that's enough to go on the board. He lost a little bit of his chest height as he came down. He flattened out just a little bit. But he kept the elbows in. He managed it. He stayed with that technique, and that's what's made the difference. Kangasviri from Finland, 235 goes on the bar now.
Going pretty safe there with that jump.
Yeah, I think Locke's made a smart move there. Just 5 kilos going to 217.5.
Works on it. Gets a nice touch. Oh, it's a lovely position.
Yeah, that's worked
There it
very,
is.
very well for him.
That was a great lift.
He gets 3 white lights.
Yeah, he's pretty pumped about that.
240, 240
John
kilos.
Wesley
Canada.
coming
He's falling.
all the way from Canada, 240 kilograms.
John Wesley coming, Canada.
He's one of our favourites.
Now this is a personal best for him.
Very compact lifter and really taking advantage of good mechanics there with it.
Yeah, look, we're all built differently, and anyone can be a world champion powerlifter, but some athletes just have really good biomechanics for different lifts. Let's see, they haven't got the chest panel pulled down too far on this one, so he shouldn't have too much trouble getting to the chest.
And some don't prefer to have it that way. They just don't like it.
Gets the touch, gets it off the chest, had plenty of speed, but boy, he's got to work that left arm.
That's
I
as far as
don't know if
he
he
can go.
locked it.
He was fighting.
Let's see what the referees say. Yeah, the referees are giving him 2 red lights.
2-1.
Tommy Mata from Finland, 255.
From Finland. And he's followed by
So this is the same again as his opener.
Had a bit of trouble here with his opener. Let's see if he's rectified. And we talk about it all the time, how important it is to get your opening attempt right.
I mean, when you've come to Worlds, generally speaking, you've had a reasonable amount of experience in competition situations and what it's like to miss your opener.
It's always a good idea to be a little bit conservative on the opening lift. Gets a better line on that one. But he just, just can't get that power off the chest. He's just not getting the bar angle.
I think he's in trouble here, Gary.
You know, look, I think, and we see this all the time in bench press, in equipped lifting, a few little shirt adjustments, and you can see he just couldn't get the speed off the chest. It was very slow. The first half an inch was quick, but it slowed down fast. Pull that chest panel down a little bit, twist the sleeves, pull the shirt down.
They're going to have to do something like that to have any chance, and they've got nothing to lose, you know.
And you watch the difference with the speed of Takahito Akutsu. He has got that super tight. He's got 262.5. It's enough weight to push it down.
Look, it's a low cut as well. That blue strip there, you see.
That's the top of the shirt.
Yep, and that's a low cut super katana he's wearing, which is specially cut in a way that it's already lower, but then he's jacked it right down.
And you can see how tight it is. It's a great angle.
See
Look
that
how
there,
tight that is across the shirt. He's working it down. And you can see how much speed he gets off the chest. And he follows it through. And he gets the 2 white lights and it's on the board. You can see that was a great angle to just see how tight that shirt pulls across the chest.
Yeah, look, that was an exceptional vision there, and it really shows what that low cut position does for a lifter, and it compresses all the, and keeps the tightness in the middle there through the pecs.
And big thanks to Viva TV for that fantastic shot. Amasyakin from Mongolia, 265, had a miss on his opener.
And again, it looks like an experience issue to me with this lifter in his bench. He's very strong, but
yeah, and you look at that shirt too. I mean, it just doesn't look that tight. He's moving quite freely.
And being strong doesn't mean you're going to be just so much better in a shirt. You've got to train and know shirts. Oh.
Yeah, he's just not getting the power out of it. And you can see when he's set up on the bench there, he's moving very, very freely. You know, the shirt's not really that tight. He's not really getting anything out of it.
Yeah, and the look on his face says it all there. He knows he's out of options. The issue here is that these weights are too heavy. He needs the shirt to work, and he hasn't got a technique for it.
And that is, I mean, it's equipment experience as well. And here we go now. Ricardo Fangaro from Brazil, 162.5. Missed this on his second, and you can see they've tightened that up a little bit, made a few little adjustments so he can get it down to the chest. Yeah, and you can see the difference in the shirt with this lifter. He's really constricted in his movement.
Yeah, exactly. And he'll be relying on the weight to pull the bar down.
Well, let's see if it works for him. He missed this on his second. Having to work it through, but it's smooth. And the power came off really well, but he just pushed back a little bit too hard, and he's got himself into a bit of trouble on that one.
Yeah, and he's just grabbing the bicep there.
Yeah, look,
he had to really
knows
work.
Exactly what he did wrong. He got off the chest really, really well, but he pushed back a little bit too hard, and the shirt just took control, and there it is. So Michael Fernandez Valentes from Costa Rica at 2:05 now. Again, missing this on his second. We have seen a lot of missed second attempts. 2:05. Have they made the right adjustments?
Is that a different shirt he's got on? I don't remember seeing the low cut on him.
They may have done that. They may have changed shirts. And you can see he can get down to the chest a little better on that one.
Oh, no.
Got plenty more power off the chest that time, but still not enough.
I don't think he's going to get that because he hasn't got the strength to lock it out.
Well, he'll have to settle now.
Yeah, nothing's really going to save him with that because the shirt's doing its job. It's popping it up, but then he can't get underneath it and press it out.
That's going to have to be a technique change now.
Yeah.
Adrian Locke from Canada, 217.5.
Personal best. Adrian looking to take home a good lift here. A personal best at Worlds.
$217.5 on the bar for Adrian Locke.
Chest up's the call. Oh.
He was smooth going down. He got power. It was all over the yard though. And no lift. It was just all over the place.
240 kilos for John Wesley.
John Wesley coming, Canada, 240 kilograms, goes on the bar for a personal best.
So 240 again.
Now he missed on his second. And you can see there, just giving the instruction again to the spotter for the lift-off. It's a really, really good idea to remind them every time. These guys are working tirelessly all day. They're not going to remember everyone's lift-off instructions. So go out there, tell them again. They're doing a great job. 240 kilograms for John Wesley. Coming from Canada.
Oh, he touches low. Oh, he
He
works through it.
muscles through it though.
I think that's a nice lift.
That should be good, and it is. He had to work it, but he got it on the board. Kangasviri from Finland with the same weight at 240.
Yeah, and he got his personal best. You know, it wasn't the easiest lift for him, but it's only going to get better from here, that lift.
And this gentleman here adding 10 kilograms to his personal best. Not a bad way to bench at Worlds. Add 10 kg to your personal best if you can get this one on the board.
Great position, straight
That
through.
is a great lift right there.
Yeah, so happy.
That was a very,
Yeah.
very good demonstration of how to bench.
Tommy Mette from Finland.
Yeah, that was textbook.
Followed the bar path all the way, never faltered from it.
The bar is loaded for Tommy
At
Mette,
2:55 goes on the bar for Tommy Mata from Finland.
Tommy's in trouble here and he knows it.
He is in all sorts of strife. Misses open, missed his second. Has to put this on the board to register a total.
All he can do is his best now.
Now let's see
Keep
what
tight.
adjustments they made.
He's got to tighten right up. That looks better. Oh.
And again, it's just too
Look,
much
he's pressed
for
it,
him.
but there was up and
He
down
got that one
movement.
back to the top, but it was all over the place. And unfortunately, no lift.
It was the best attempt, and he thanks everyone
He
for it.
certainly thanks the crowd. He's going to be extremely disappointed. But we have another lifter now that is in all sorts of strife as well. Musyakin from Mongolia, looking at 265, has missed it once, missed it twice, and another one with in all sorts of trouble. Has to get this on the bar. The crowd's behind him. They want him to do it. The other athletes in the warm-up room behind him, they want him to do it. Have they tightened that up? In the last attempt, that shirt just looked so loose.
Just looking at it,
It looks tighter
looks
now.
like it's okay. Is he strong enough to muscle this up? That's actually my question.
His shirt certainly looks tighter. Now let's see if he has the experience to use
He's got
it.
to take his time on the setup, get those shoulder blades together, get really super tight through the back and the lats.
Gets
good,
it down
it's
to
good.
the chest. That's a lot better there. Gets the power off the chest,
yeah.
but just has spent too much energy trying those other two lifts. He is going to be so disappointed with that. And they did everything they could. And, you know, that attempt was so much better, though. And he got the power off the chest there, but he just couldn't follow it through. He's spent.
Yeah, I thought that was his best attempt, definitely. But the weight is too heavy.
Yeah, it's just a little bit too
They
much.
need to go back and think about that.
Takahita Akutsu from Japan, 267.5.
In contrast,
Yeah,
Takahito,
Akutsu, he's done his open, he's done his second, and I'm pretty confident he's going to get his third as well. He is a great bencher, and look at the way they set up that shirt, though.
Yep. These are great attempt selections for him, and he's a technician on that shirt, as you say.
Yeah, and you can see when he sets up, there is just no looseness in that shirt at any point across the arms and across the chest.
But at the end of the day, he's still got to press this himself.
Absolutely.
And he can. He expands
Wow,
out of the shirt
tight.
and blasts it up. Can he lock it out? I think he's
And he
cooked.
stalled.
No
That's
good.
the end of that. He gave it everything. Boy, he came off that chest fast.
So bear in mind that's very heavy in the hands because
267.5 is a huge amount of weight to be holding in your hands. We move into the second group now. Eric Gunham from Sweden, 225. Just reminding me there's a very large contingency of Swedish fans here. As expected.
Team Gunham here. I don't know, there might be about 30 of them.
225 on the bar.
For his opener.
And this bench press session now becomes so important for these top 5 lifters.
He needs to focus now. Get his setup just right. Nice and tight there.
Yeah, if he has a solid 3 from 3, he's in a really good position to move up the rankings here. And that is a great way to open.
Nice and snappy.
Yeah, look, his current predicted total puts him at 8th, but he is so close to moving up to 7th. And even 6 isn't out of reach. And this is all about points for your team as well.
That's right. We compete for team points, for nation points. And that's a big thing in powerlifting because we're all very close to each other. We want to do well for our team, and we want our team to do well, which is our nation. Our team is our nation. And a lot of times lifters will sacrifice individual goals, such as records and PBs, to ensure the safety of the team numbers first.
That's what it comes down to. Martin Lang from Germany, 250 kilograms. These are absolutely crazy numbers.
We're going to see some 300s coming up towards the end.
Working it down smoothly all the way.
Oh, he has to lift off quite a bit, though. It'll just be a matter of... There
on
we
the
go.
board, 3 white lights.
You could just see him flexing through the quads there, and his hips were working. So you watch from this moment on, he drives and pushes back, and I thought from the overhead, I wonder if he's lifted off there, but...
He's managed to get it in there, though.
Yeah,
Sergei Mershinkov from Russia, 270 kilograms.
Yeah. Sergei gets a slap from the coach. But something tells me this gentleman knows what he's doing.
This is the man that can bench.
I reckon. Doesn't mess around with much of an arch.
Hasn't got a huge arch, but he's super tight.
He's a person... Oh, he can't find the bottom.
Get it. Shirt's just too tight to get it down there. So he won't touch the chest. That shirt was just a bit too tight.
It looks peculiar to the casual observer, but that shirt is so tight, he literally cannot drag it down.
He just couldn't get it there. So it'll be interesting what they do, whether they put some more weight on the bar or whether they loosen the shirt a little bit.
I think they'll put more weight on.
Rogoma from Norway, 282.5 now.
And Stian, another one that's not messing about with much of an arch there. Gets the feet under the bench quite close together to get maximal tension through the quads and the glutes there to keep strong through the whole body.
Yeah, he did a 287.5 earlier this year, so this shouldn't really pose too much of a problem for him.
Oh,
he's had to work though. He really didn't get much speed off the chest.
Thanks for nothing, shirt.
Yeah, that was pretty much a raw lift, and he just misses out there and gets 2 white lights.
Yeah, shirt didn't seem to help there.
Looks like he got a yellow card. Is that
he's lifted? The butt? Yeah, I think he lifted off because he was in a bit of trouble.
Goes.
He's panicked. He's clear off there.
Yeah, you can see the other side of Sweden there. Alexander Ruperts from the Ukraine, 290 kilograms on the bar. And this guy, he can bench well above this. I'm pretty sure he holds the junior world record at 301. And he does. He did that at the World Junior Championships this year.
And look at that youth there is allowing him to get up right on top of the traps there, take the bar, and then he'll set himself down.
He's got a big arch for such a big guy. You know, he gave us a squat lesson earlier. And now he's trying to give us a bench lesson as well. That should be a good lift, and it is. 3 white lights, 290 on the board. Christopher from Norway, 290, stays on the bar.
Well, there's a sea of reds there on the first attempt, Gary, on the card.
Just all over the place, isn't it? I mean, we talk about how important it is to be consistent, adding little bits, chipping away, and getting those openers right. You need to give yourself room to move. 290 goes on the bar now for Christopher from Norway.
Yeah, we're getting up there very close now to the 300 mark. I wonder if he'll try and have a crack at it in the second or
I think
third.
if this goes well, he'll be looking to break the 300.
Yeah. Looks good.
Gets it to the chest.
Nice.
Fires it up smooth all the way
I
through.
think he really owes it to himself to have a go at 300.
Yeah, look, that was a smooth lift all the way through. It wasn't a super fast lift,
No.
but it was never in doubt of going up. It was smooth all the way through. Right now, Sen Yang, Chinese Taipei, had a rough time on squats, got his opener, and then just got into all sorts of trouble. But now looking for a 300 kilo bench. So he benched this 300 last year in Pilsen. And at that particular time, it became a world junior record.
Right.
To be beaten later on in South Africa. Well, let's see if he can put the 300 on the board. Quick down to the chest.
Very quick. Gets right under the bar. He's got all the work to do.
He didn't get much off that shirt at all, did he? And he just can't lock it out. He's waved it out.
I'm guessing what?
He did lock it out. We'll have a look at the replay. Please remember at home, please, that we don't have the angle the referees have. We are sitting down here. Our cameras are looking up. And we really can't see from that angle either.
Yeah,
That didn't
I
really
got
help.
surprised.
A great shot from Media TV. They're beautiful images, absolutely gorgeous, high definition images. Just not the angle we wanted. I'll probably start throwing things at me soon. Oh, there it comes.
Incoming.
All right. Tumanjagul from Mongolia, 300 stays on the bar as well.
Let's see what he can do with this. Again.
So fantastic to see him come out though. It takes so much guts and conviction. You miss all 3 opening squats now to come out here and bench. But he can still take away a medal in bench.
Good touch. Straight up.
And with a lift like that, he might just take away a medal in bench.
That was a fantastic bench. You're absolutely right, Gary. He's right up the top with the benches.
And we know the Mongolian lifters have a tradition of good bench presses.
Yeah, and he's got control of that shirt. That's more the point from my point of view here.
Now, Sergey Vilyi from the Ukraine, 305. Now, it's only an opening lift, but this is really important for him to put this on the board to give himself some room to add some kilos. If he misses this opening lift, you know, then he's back at taking 305 again and not getting the opportunity to add to that total.
But don't forget his deadlift.
He has a whopping deadlift. That is his secret weapon. Well, it's not really a secret.
It's not a secret now. So
It was a secret until we told everyone.
Should be a reasonably safe opener.
305.
Oh.
And he staggered through that. It looks like the bars moved up and down from our angle. Let's see what the referees saw. They're in the mix and they saw it too. That's a no lift.
He's having a difficult day at the office.
Important lift, the opening lift, especially in bench press. Coach is coming to the jury panel. I don't think he's going to have much success.
He's gone to the jury to ask them to review that lift.
And that is why we have a jury. But right now, the Swede, Eric Gunham, 2:32.5. Reminds me of the Clint Eastwood move when they bring out the Swede. Here he comes, Eric Gunham, 2:32.5.
How's Eric shaping up with the predicted total?
So he is currently sitting in 8th position at 9:07.5 predicted total. but a solid performance in bench press. Could see
Whoa.
him. And with lifts like that, if he can go 3 from 3, he puts himself in a really good position to move up the rankings into even 7th, even 6th.
That's really amazing, the speed he got that down.
He has
and then
great
straight
technique.
up again.
His setup is fantastic.
Yeah,
His
he's
arch,
a power
his chest
bencher.
is up. Martin Lang from Germany, 257.5. He wants to put this on the board because he's currently sitting 7th overall in predicted totals, and he doesn't want Gunham sneaking up behind.
So there's a bit of a battle going on here. Sweden and Germany. Norway, if he can get a lift on the board, he'd be right.
It is anyone's game. 257.5. Taking his time. The bar's out. Gets a quick start command. Wants a quick press command. Gets a good press call.
Oh, it's a beautiful bench.
Gets it to the top.
Yeah, that's superb. And you're really seeing great coaching when you're looking at that. Great technique. It's perfect. It's faultless, really.
And here comes Sergei Mashinkov from Russia.
Yeah, he missed this the first time.
It was he couldn't get the bar down to his chest. Now they've left the weight the same. I'm going to assume they made some small adjustments to the shirt so he can get that to his chest. He is traditionally a very solid bencher.
Yeah, so they might have backed that shirt off a little bit.
You know what? And it's a really fine line about getting that shirt tight enough. A little bit too tight, that's what happens. You can't get it to your chest. Not tight enough, and you're not going to get the power. And at 270, it's a really, really precise thing.
Just going to let that settle there for a minute.
That's better.
Oh,
but he just pulled down to the wrong place. He's got himself into trouble now.
Oh, and he's looking at his attachments there at the pec, and I just wondered if he was a little high up the bench as well.
Just got himself into the wrong position. You can see the
It
bar,
rolls
the
forward.
shirt pushes it forward. Oguma from Norway now, 282.5, and he's missed his opener as well.
Yeah, look, this is really interesting because at the end of the squats, the Russian was on top of the world. He had chances he'd never dreamed was going to happen.
He had a shot to run into the medals, and he's put himself into all sorts of problems now. 282.5 for Norway, and another lifter that wants to, really important to get this on the board. You know, sometimes this is what happens at these World Championship events. They just try and push the envelope a little bit too far, open a little bit too high. Don't take into account the other issues that come along with all the travel and food. And
it's a good clean touch.
he got a good
and
touch,
he's muscling it up, but he runs out of
can't
steam.
Muscle through, and he has put himself in all sorts of trouble as well. Alexander Rupert's 302.5 for a world junior record. I had a feeling he'd try and go for this today. His 290 was pretty much textbook. 302.5 now. And with everything that's happened, he's in a great position to go for world records now. On predicted totals, he's almost 60 kilos ahead of everyone. The only person that can come near him is Wagurbo, who's now in trouble. So he's in a really good position. He just needs, all he needs to do is do his job, get down to that last deadlift, and go for whatever you need to go for.
And in a way, he's thinking, I'm sure he's thinking, I have to do everything I can because Billier is yet to deadlift.
And Billy is there, 305.
Great touch. super
Another
strong.
great bench
Can
and
you
a
believe
world
it?
record. 3 white lights, and there it is.
No, that was
Billy is
fantastic.
going to have all sorts of trouble catching him.
Kristoffer Ekeland, 302.5.
Billy will be up soon. He missed his open at 3:05, and he is the only one who's in touch with Rupert's as well.
So
And there's a 10-kilo difference there. So Rupert's has put a 10-kilo lead in the predicted totals. Billy's got himself in a bit of trouble because he can't add much to his bench now, and it's going to come down, and Billy's going to have to rely on that weapon deadlift of his. Christopher, 3:02.5.
you called it, and Christopher is taking a reasonable jump. The first one was done well, but it looked heavy. Oh!
And that looked better.
Yep, he's got that.
He gets it to the top. He's smiling, and it's on the board.
Yeah, such a great lifter.
And now Sen Yang, 3:05 on the bar.
Yep. He loves this, and this is his specialty. But he's definitely a medal contender.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he goes because he does have a tendency to open very high and very close to his best lift.
Look at the foot position
So
there.
this will be a personal best. His best lift is 300.
Great touch. Oh, can he get through it? No.
And unfortunately, he couldn't get that on the board, so he's going to have a third crack at that one. Now, Bill Yee for 3:05. This is like a super pressure lift, this one right here. He has to get this on the board to give him some room to move. At the moment, he hasn't got an opener on the board. He needs to put this one on just so he can register that total. But he needs to put this one on the board so he can try and add at least a couple of kilos, because at the moment he is letting Rupert's run away with this.
Yeah, if he doesn't get this, we're getting very close to an upset.
Oh, struggling with the bar path there. And
He
he's
is
all
going
over
to
the
lock
shop,
this
but he's
out.
got it. He gets it to the top.
I think he's got that.
Let's see what the referees say. And we've got 2 red lights.
Now, the coach is definitely...
I think the coach is coming over for a bit of a discussion
saying,
here.
Why?
We'll see the replay. The blue card should be a downward movement of the bar.
Yeah, so that's what they're going to see was there any downward
The bar
move?
is allowed to come up unevenly. It doesn't have to come up straight.
I just wondered whether that right hand dipped again when the left came back up again. It's
for us
borderline.
to see. We'll let the drill discuss that, and we'll get back to you on that one. But right now, Tumunjago from Mongolia, 3:12.5, and it looks like they might overturn it. They have overturned that. So Billy gets the 3:05, and boy, did he need that overturn.
What a relief.
But I don't know where he's going to go in his third. He really doesn't have a lot of room there.
I don't think it really matters. He's got a lift.
And 3:12.5. He might get this on the board, and he does.
That's fantastic benching.
Tell you what, he's going to put himself in the medal for the bench press.
Yep. Rightly so.
Well, right now, his bench has him in the gold medal position for bench. Now, Eric Gunman from Sweden at 240 coming up with his third lift, and he has had 2 good lifts. Can he make it 3 from 3? Having a great day today. Having an absolute bottler of a day. Just thought I'd throw in a bit of Australian slang
for you. He is having a bottler of a day.
I thought you'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
240 on the bar.
Straight
quick
down.
descent.
Works hard. Locks it out.
I think he's got it on the board.
I'd say it's his.
He has 3 from 3 on the bench. He'll be stoked with that.
And so's his Team Gunham crowd there.
Now, Martin Lang wants to make sure he doesn't sneak up behind him. 262.5 goes on the bar.
So
262.5 for Martin from Germany.
very experienced competitor here. And
An even more experienced coach.
yes, and a really great battle. He's lifting well today.
He's taking his time, getting everything right. Wow, Rufus has put in a 3:07.5.
Oh, he did?
He wants to do more than own the record. He wants to destroy his old record completely. He's making a statement today. Martin Lang, 262.5.
Oh, he's throwing the book at it.
He's giving it everything he's got. Let's see what the referees say. And 3 white lights on the board. Look out. Germany is making a statement of this competition saying, look out, we are here to stay.
You know,
and we're going to make a mess later on.
You know, just watching Dietmar Wolf, the coach there, he was so happy. Just makes me feel so happy for him.
Right now, Sergei Makunkov from Russia has got himself into trouble. 270, which should have been quite a reasonably cruisy opening lift, has turned into an absolute nightmare for him.
Yes, he was in a fantastic position coming into the bench, and now he's looking at it disappearing before his very eyes.
This is a do or die lift. If anyone can handle the pressure, it's him.
Oh, he
gets down quicker. Come on, muscle it through, work it up, and he just can't push it through.
I don't think he can believe this.
Absolutely devastated with that. He left the squats in such a great position to take a run for the medals, and now he is out of medal contention, cannot register a total. He will be crushed. You know, and from athletes, coaches, commentators, everyone, the crowd, spectators, no one wants to see that. Ronagoma from Norway, 282.5.
He's also in the same position.
He is in trouble as well.
Often when you see people, other lifters, competitors missing lifts around you, it seems to have a cascading effect, and it can really throw each other off.
It does. It changes the atmosphere in the warm-up room. Everyone gets a little bit more stressed, a little bit more nervous.
Yeah. And you need somebody to break that cycle that's going on.
Well, can this be it? I think he's done it. I think he has. And it is. It's on the board. 2 white lights. He gets it on there and saves his day by the skin of his neck.
And
now, Sen Yang now.
Oh.
Sen
You
Yang.
win some, you lose some. You lose some, you win some.
Sen Yang, Chinese Taipei, 305. You know, opened with a fantastic squat, but then couldn't get a second or a third. He's opened with a great bench, struggling with that second attempt now, and he's at 305 again.
I think you described it really well. He's a lifter that opens very close to what he's capable of finishing on, and it's always a bit dramatic as to whether he'd be able to go past that.
Yeah, look, that lift never looked like it was going to come back up. Came down to the chest really fast, just had no tightness in anything. He knew that on the way down, and you can see it came off the chest, and he really didn't try and push it through. But right now, world junior record. Alexander Ruperts from the Ukraine, 3:075.
And so he can set this junior record here at Opens. And it just really shows the strength of this young gentleman.
So this is your junior world champion who now is threatening to be your open world champion.
Yep.
He can set a junior world record here. He cannot chip the bar though, so he can only go up in 2.5 increments for a junior world record. So he's at 3:07.5. It was his world record. He just broke it before. Now he wants to make sure no one gets it for a little while. He wants this one to hang around.
Yeah, this is a great selection of the weight. Certainly well within him.
He's going to have to work for it. It's just a little bit too much on the right-hand side.
I just wonder if they'll. I think the spotter took it, didn't they? But they're okay with that.
Let's have a look at the replay.
Thought the spotter might have taken it a bit soon on that one side.
Nah, there it goes. 3:07.5 goes on the bar for now. Christopher from Norway.
Christopher is actually sneaking up and looking threatening.
He is certainly in the mix. He's in the bronze medal on the predicted totals, and he is going to be pulling out that weapon in the next round.
He is really positioned himself very quietly in amongst the final medal contention.
So here he goes at 3:07.5. He's having a great day on the bench.
Oh, come on.
And
he grits the
he's
teeth.
gonna push it through. He gets it to the top. Let's see what the referees say.
He can't believe
and
it.
He gets the two white lights.
He can't believe he just benched that. He muscled that up.
Now,
Have a look at
Billy,
this.
he really gave it everything.
Great fight. And he stuck with it. And they let him stick with it. And he was absolutely ecstatic when he came off that he got that lift. That will pump him right up now.
So Sergei Bilyi now from the Ukraine, 3:10. Now, he got the 3:05 for his second, saved himself and put himself out of a little bit of trouble there. This 3:10, we looked at the 3:05 and said, where do you go from there? I mean, it was such a tough lift.
Yeah.
Is 3:10 biting off a little bit more? You can choose. Should he go on 3:07.5 and get the 2.5 kilos? We'll find out.
It certainly could be. Oh, it's come down well. But has he got the strength?
And no, the bar dips. So the 3:10 was a little bit too much. They have to settle for 3:05 and doesn't add to his predicted total at all. And that's worked pretty well for Rupert's, missing that 3:07.5. And the last lifter in this bench press session for 3:25, Chimanjagul from Mongolia, 325 kilograms. He missed all three squats, has come back out here, and now he will take home the gold medal in the bench press.
Yep. Yeah, it's just such a pity he couldn't get a squat in.
And I'll tell you what, in this sort of company, to take home a gold medal in the bench press
outstanding.
Is pretty amazing.
He really wants this lift, Gary. I think it's personal. He's done absolutely everything right here with his benching, in stark contrast to the squatting. But I sense this is what he came for, this lift here.
Here it is, 325.
Look at all that red.
It's such a beautiful sight.
Oh.
Struggling to get the touch, gets the touch, and it's just a little bit too much. Great job from the spotters. And that brings us to the end of the bench press. And I'll tell you what, things are starting to shake up here. On the current subtotals, Rubens is 32.5 kilos in front of Bilyi, but Bilyi has a fantastic deadlift. And the predicted totals, Rubens is only 10 kilograms in front, and that deadlift of Bilyi's could be enough to save him. So Rubens is going to have to pull for his life.
He
Could
will.
we see an upset though? Could we see the junior world champion slide in here and still the open world championships as well? Come back in 10 minutes time and find out exactly what's going to happen here in Hampstead, Sweden. Welcome back to Halmstad, Sweden, the IPF World Open Powerlifting Championships 2018, and the action is just getting crazier and crazier here today. All week it's been crazy, and today is no exception for that. And that is a beautiful shot on your screen of those fantastic Alico plates. Good Alico steel. Those things are calibrated absolutely perfectly. Take one down to your gym and weigh it and compare it to a gym plate, and you will see the difference. When you're lifting on the Alico, you know exactly what you are lifting. We are 1 minute and 20 seconds away from getting started. Could we see an upset here? Could we see the current world junior champion become the world open champion? We'll have to wait and find out. Billy has an absolute monster of a deadlift on him. So if Rupert wants this, if he wants to take home the gold, he is going to have to pull for his life. We are 56 seconds away, and Chrissy, Champion Chamberlain, has joined us back in the commentary box.
Thank you, Gary. For
How exciting is this?
Look, it's amazing. And what's interesting is, you know, we talked about these guys are in a weight class where they often do move up and down a bit. Billier's moved up to the 105s in 2017, and you know, you're really starting to wonder what's his thinking around now, moving down, moving up, staying up. Does it suit him? What does it do to his deadlift, etc.? So, you know, it's just been really fascinating to watch how these guys mature and lay down the muscle mass on their bodies.
Yeah, look, and it's been really interesting. We have seen 4 lifters in this group now have bombed out in some way. So we saw Rajavi from Mongolia miss all his squats. Mata, Amasakan and Mashinkov miss all 3 benches. And now taking the stand, taking the platform at 230 kilos is Amasakan from Mongolia for his opening deadlift at 230 kilograms.
Look, exactly. And there can be 100 kilos difference in this group of guys with what they can deadlift. That was easy.
230 is on the board. They give you an idea of how amazingly powerful these guys are. The World Open record is 388.
What?
The world total open record is 1,090.5. These guys are huge. Ricardo Fungaro from Brazil, 230 on the bar.
Oh, he's got his squat suit on back to front there for his deadlift.
Just likes to mix it up a little bit.
And let's see how he does that. Very narrow sumo.
Now, this is the only discipline you don't have to wait for the chief referee to give you the start command. You can walk out there, start when you're ready. You only have to wait for the down command.
He's delighted to get his total, I'd say. His feet rolled right out on the edges there. Just not sure if he was really happy with the lift when he walked off.
Yeah, look, he has had a rough day.
Yeah.
John Wesley coming 250 kilograms on the bar.
Yeah, so a bit of a jump up now straight away.
And remember, this is 2 flights. So we'll see the first group, then we'll roll straight into the second group.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, he pulls
technique.
that straight to the top. He gets the 3 white lights on the board. Takahito Akutsu from Japan, 260 kilograms.
Basloading. Welcome. Takahito Akutsu, Japan.
285 is best lift, so this should be well within reach.
Yes, Gary, he comes straight out. and get to business.
And of course, a huge shout out to the spotters and spotters and loaders. They have one of the toughest jobs of anyone. It is so exhausting up there, especially in a flight like this where there's so much weight and such a range of lifts. They are working so hard up there. Hopefully someone will buy them a good old-fashioned Swedish beer when they finish. And
Very
making it look
safe.
easy. And don't forget, if you're watching this at home, if you're watching it on Facebook, go to olympicchannel.com and watch all the action on the Olympic Channel. For the first time in the history of IPF powerlifting, we are broadcasting live all around the world on the Olympic Channel.
You know, and we've got another first here. Gary and I might tell you a bit more about that after this lift, but it involves a dog.
Well, I'm sure that will be a very interesting one, if you've got my interest. Michael Fernandez Barrantes from Costa Rica, 265 on the bar. You've certainly sparked my interest. Oh, gets a bit wobbly at the top there.
I
Just
don't
can't
know
lock it
about
off.
that.
And that'll be a no lift. You can see as he got to the top there, he just got a bit wobbly and bent forward. And the bar dips back down again. And there it is.
Yep.
And you can see he's extremely disappointed in himself.
He's strong enough. He just needs to have more practice with the technique, etc., and controlling the lift.
So right now, Tommy Marta from Finland, 270 kilograms.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to seeing his deadlifts. I thought he'll be a good deadlifter.
And he is.
And he is.
It's like, thank you very much. I'll put that one in the bank.
Let me tell you about this dog. It's an all-time first thing ever at an international sport of any kind is happened here at this championship. For the first time in the world, an international sport has got a sniffer dog, an anti-doping sniffer dog running around working here.
An anti-doping sniffer dog.
Yes, Molly, she's a trained dog. And
Well,
I'll tell you a bit more about her as we go along.
Adrian Locke from Canada, 285 on the bar. And that just goes to show how serious the IPF is in regards to anti-doping. He got a little bit forward there. What probably wasn't his best lift. He got a little bit forward, but he managed to drag it back in, gets the 3 white lights.
Yep, that's fine. Yes, Gary, the Swedish Powerlifting Federation actually started this whole thing. They were the first sport to ever use an anti-doping dog, and then a lot of other sports in Sweden took on to contracting this dog to come to their sports to sniff out any anti-doping violations at the championships.
On the bar now, 300 kilos for Kangasviri from Finland.
And how mighty does he look standing there?
The big giant from Finland.
Yeah.
And there it is. Yeah, I mean, the IPF is very, takes anti-doping very seriously. We try and promote a very clean sport, particularly the fact that we have such a big junior contingency. You know, we really want to push forward, the IPF push forward that anti-doping right from an early age.
Yeah, and so Molly, this 4.5-year-old Springer Spaniel, has been trained in the full range of substances that are banned by WADA for powerlifting, and she can detect, smell people's bags and their belongings, lockers, these sorts of things, and she sniffs them and she marks them if she detects the smell.
Well, that is a fantastic move by Sweden and a fantastic move by the IPF to involve that.
First international sports federation to contract a dog.
Right now, Ricardo Fangara on the bar is 240 kilograms, all the way from Brazil.
Gets that weight right out on the outside of his feet there, as you can see. It's a better lift.
That should be a good lift, and it is.
Yeah, and he's happier with that one. He was troubled by that first lift. Seems strange to say, but sometimes it's just not heavy enough to make you do your best.
Well, they are flying through these lifts. Those spotters and loaders are going so fast. Right now, Amasyakin from Mongolia, 245 on the bar, 15 kilo jump.
Yep, reasonable jump there.
Yeah, look, he had a really rough time on his bench press.
Yeah.
Now he's come out to try and wipe that off and just get some practice and some experience and some numbers in the deadlift.
Very good lift. Nice and solid.
3 white lights. Michael Fernandez Varantes from Costa Rica, 265 kilograms on the bar. Missed his opener. Just got himself a little bit off balance at the top, dipped the bar forward. He'll be really focusing on pushing those hips forward now and pulling those shoulders back.
There's no doubt about his strength. He's a very strong man.
Yeah, he had no problems with the weight whatsoever. Just
It's just a
sort of couldn't
technique
finish
thing.
it off.
Yep. He's got to control that strength. There it is. That's perfect.
That's a lot better. You know, and it doesn't really happen too much at this level, but it's really about how you train too. You know, you need to be training. You know, if you're new to powerlifting, you're training at the moment, you're just starting out. Every lift you do in the gym, you should be training to completion. Deadlift, train to lockout. I see so many videos on
you see them,
Instagram and
don't you?
Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, and they lifted 275, but their knees weren't locked. You train to lockout. You know, with your squats, train to depth. With your bench, train to that bar path, that touch. With your deadlift, train to lockout and drill it into the nervous system. Right now, John Wesley coming to 70 kilograms. And that should be a
great
good lift.
He's actually starting to work a bit harder now. Look, just following up on what you said there, Gary, I interviewed Dako Kadama, you know, the absolute legend, bench press legend, and he's on the cover of the latest edition of the IPF magazine. And one of the things he talked about was that in his gym, and they've produced 20 champions who've gone to Worlds, and he himself is an absolute legend and has so many world championships under the belt. But he says we train with the bar the same way as we train with 200 kilos.
Exactly. Takahito Akutsu from Japan, 282.5 kilograms.
Of course, the Japanese are really known as technicians, master technicians in powerlifting, and they really respect technique, they respect standards.
Very much so. If you look at the bench press, I mean, everyone loves to watch Japanese bench press.
We do.
Their technique, you know, their attention to detail, every little bit.
Precise. And that was precise.
That was a very, very good deadlift. 3 white lights. And our screen is looking a lot greener now than it was in the bench press.
And being green is good.
Tommy Martha from Finland, 292.5.
Next lifter, Adrian from Canada.
We've had some fantastic championships in Finland. They're wonderful competitors and hosts. They know a lot about powerlifting. The steel's in their blood. It's in their genetics. Ooh.
A little bit of a stagger through the middle, but it should be okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Got a bit of a look on his face that was heavier than he expected, but he gets it on the board.
He's not feeling the love here today.
Adrian Locke from Canada, 305.
Followed by Jussi Kangasvieri, Finland.
Here's a bit of a look at the bar when he finished there. Well, that's a
Yeah.
little bit heavier than I thought it would be.
Boys load in. Adrian Locke.
Adrian
Canada,
Locke,
305.
305.
really enjoyed watching Adrian's lifting today. He not only obviously is a very strong man, but just really like his energy that he brings to his lifting, and his technique is just about flawless from my point of view.
Well, let's have a close look at this one. 305 kilograms.
And he's got nice shoes. No, I'm kidding.
She's not really. Chrissy really likes shoes.
See, look at
And
that.
that was absolutely superb.
This lift
Yeah, it's
is a
perfect.
good lift. A good lift.
And
Three white lights.
310 kilos.
Kangasvira from Finland now, 310 kilograms.
Boys load in. Welcome, Jussi. Now we're starting with the third attempts in this first group. First, Jussi Kangasviri, 310.
Here he comes, 310 kilograms.
you know, I can just imagine this guy filling out and becoming a super. Sorry.
Yeah, he's certainly got the height for
He's
it.
got the height for it.
Handles that one well.
This was a
Three
good
white
lift,
lights.
good lift.
Now, I don't know if you can hear on the screen, on your stream at home, you saw his right knee shift there.
Yeah.
It was actually after the down command.
Next lift,
Yep.
From where we're sitting, we could hear the down command. It happened after the down command.
Yeah, I saw it, and it was so quick. I wondered if it had gone soft before the call, but
He
it
got the
unlocked
down command
afterwards.
first. Ricardo Fongara from Brazil, 247.5.
So Ricardo's another very passionate and emotional lifter with a long future. He really just needs to, I think, learn more control and play around with technique and slight changes.
And this is the thing with powerlifting
Yeah.
is it's such a long career.
Yeah.
And it's such a long process of getting better and better. You know, so if you're in your mid to late 20s or even your early 30s and you still haven't gotten to, you know, a world
No.
championship or even a national championship, in powerlifting terms, you're still young. You're still a baby
Yeah.
in powerlifting terms.
Yep, and there's so many things you can do, and different coaching, different programming, change this, change that. You're not set in stone whatsoever. You can train yourself to do things differently, and if you find that you can lift more weight, you'll probably do it. And that was a really
And
nice
that
lift.
was very, very well done. He has very long limbs for
Yeah.
a sumo lifter.
And we see some of his personality come out, and that's what I really love about powerlifting is you get to see the personality in people and how much joy that the lifting brings them and excitement it brings them and pumps them up for the next lift.
And onto the platform now, Amashakan from Mongolia, 252.5.
boys load in.
And he wants to finish on 3 from 3. He had a terrible, terrible day on bench. Now wants to finish 3 from 3 on deadlift.
Yeah, it takes a lot mentally to finish the program when you bomb out in a discipline.
Yeah, look, it really does take conviction. You know, every now and then you'll see guys bomb out on something and they won't come out and take the rest of their lifts. It takes a lot, and every time you get to lift on a platform, particularly at an international competition, every time you get to lift is experience, is training, is learning, you know, and you're not going to make that mistake the next time. I remember coaching a guy in Belarus last year at the World Championships who bombed his squats. You know, and we got him back up on the platform, and it was the best thing he ever did. And he's come back. You know, he went to nationals the following year. He's come back so much better and so much stronger. An incredible lifter.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Michael Fernandez Barrantes from Costa Rica, 285 kilograms.
Yeah, Michael's another one in that same category. More experience will go a long way for him. Trying different technique and different programming, well, more technique, I suppose, coaching, just to see what might work differently for him. But the strength and the heart is there, and that's you can't put that into people.
That is half the battle.
Yeah, heart's something you've kind of got or not. But he's a worker.
Oh, he's
Oh,
come
it's way
forward. You can
forward.
see that come forward. He knew it.
Yep.
He knew it as soon as he pulled it. He tried to save it, but it was just a bit too hard.
Yeah. No, he was right over the top of the bar and forward of it. You're never going to really be able to pull that up. You're going to hurt yourself if you do.
Now for his third lift, John Wesley coming from Canada. 287.5.
He's getting a bit steamed up there, Gary.
He is fired up for this last lift. He wants 3 from 3 on the deadlift.
You know, that's actually a reasonable jump there. He's put 17 and a half
He
on
has. He's got a big last jump.
it. He's cranky with it. He put 20 kilo on the last one. So this is how he rolls. He has trained himself to take these big jumps.
Yep, you do see some lifters like the big
Yep.
jumps in deadlift. It's not unusual, particularly in these heavier weight classes, not unusual to see, 25 kilo
Yep.
jump, 20 kilo jump.
Yep.
It's even not unusual to see a 30 kilo
Look, we've
jump
even,
from
I was
first
going to
to
say
second.
even more. Rolls those elbows out. Oh, he
Oh,
sticks
he's
with
working it, he's
it.
working
He
it.
sticks with it. He pulls through.
There it is, it's past the knees.
Oh,
Can he
I
get the rest
don't
of the way?
think he's going
Not
to fall
quite.
backward. And I
Great
just
job from the
wondered
spotter
if
to get the head
he
catch
might
his
have
head
passed
there.
out there.
Yeah, look, just a little bit of a blood rush. He's fine.
Yeah.
It's completely normal. You put so much effort into that pull, your head's down, the intra-abdominal pressure. It's not an unusual thing, and there's no harm to the athlete.
No, but there's that moment there where he just hasn't got quite enough blood to the brain. It's pooling down.
Yeah, just a bit of an oxygen loss, but he's absolutely fine. Tommy Marta from Finland, 3:05 on the bar for a massive, massive personal best. Previous to this competition, his best lift was 285.
And talk about getting past those numbers. You'll often see lifters attempt something just over the round number and then just under the round number, then just over. And he's done that. He bypassed the 300
This
and
is one of 300 is one of those magic numbers.
went straight to the 305.
Ooh, got away
got in
from
front
him.
of him, but he tries. No.
He put a lot into it. It got in front of him there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was just a little fraction forward.
Big effort.
And he tried his best, but
Takahito Akutsu from Japan, 3:07.5 now. For another personal best as well. Previous to this, PB of 3:02.5.
another reasonably good big jump here.
And this gentleman has great technique. And when you get up to a weight that you've never done before, your technique is everything. And you have to trust it and rely on it. $3,075, 677 pound.
Oh,
And just a little too much. It's a tough day. I mean, it is a really tough ask at the end of the day to pull
And they
those
could-
deadlifts. They've taken everything out of themselves already.
yeah, and look, they smile about it afterwards, and we put it on the bar. We had a go.
Adrian Locke from Canada, 3:17.5. Now, the great thing is that we've had 4 lifters bomb out, and none of those lifters have scratched their next lift.
No, they've all
They've
come
all
back.
got their openers in.
Yeah. Often, if a lifter gets injured, they won't obviously go
look,
on.
and that's a completely
fair
different
enough,
thing, but
but-
it's great to see them.
Yeah.
They know they can't register a total, and they're going to come out and lift anyway and get the experience and maybe even find a way into the medals.
But no such situation for this gentleman. He has worked really hard and really well, and he's had a super lifting day.
3:17.5.
Yeah,
Can he get back
he's
there?
back
He
there.
looks like he
Oh, I think
has.
he has.
and puts it down ever so gently. 3 white lights and he's on the board.
Yeah, and as soon as he saw those white lights, the wrist didn't hurt anymore.
All of a sudden he feels better. 3:22.5 goes on the bar now for Kangasviri from Finland.
We start the next group, the second group. First,
And another monstrous personal best. 3:22.5.
Yeah, it's not a bad deadlift, this.
The bar is loaded. Here he comes.
He runs out
He is
for his
psyched up
final
for this
attempt.
lift.
Yeah. Oh, I'd say he wants this, Gary.
He is really pumped for this lift. No mucking around.
Oh,
And it's just a bit too much at the end of the day. Big thank you to the
Thanks,
crowd.
everybody.
Acknowledges everyone.
no. He's a huge man, and he's had a great day of lifting. Just gets out in front of him too far.
Well, right now we move into our second group with Tumunjagal from Mongolia to open at 200 kilograms.
So we're going to see openers in the 300s in this next group. There's only a couple of in the 200 area. We're really seeing some big deadlifters now come to the platform. And of course, no bigger deadlift really than Sergei Bilye, the Ukrainian. But first, we start with 200 on the bar.
$200 kilos to open his campaign.
Oh, very easy.
Easy start.
A nice, easy opening lift there.
Next lifter, Norway, Stian Valkemo, 292.5.
Yep.
Goma from Norway, 292.5.
492,5 Bars loaded, welcome Stian
Stian.
Valkemo, Norway. Kom igen Stian.
292.5 kilograms from Norway.
That's it for the Mongolian.
So he scratched his
He's-
last 2 lifts.
He did one deadlift and called it a day.
Yeah, he looked a little tender walking off.
He's probably hurt something. There's no point. And Stian pulls that through nicely.
This was
Yeah,
a good
it's
lift.
interesting because the
Easy start for
Mongolian athlete, he
Stian.
looked a little tender walking off after the squats, and you said something there, and he might have had a lower back injury or something.
Yeah, I saw him reach
And
for
he
the...
handled the bench, but he's tried to pull a deadlift. He's probably thought, no, it's a little bit too much. It's a bit of a risk.
Welcome Martin
The
Lange,
hand
Germany,
always
300.
goes to where the pain is.
Always.
I always watch the lifter because their hand will go where it's hurting.
Martin Lang from Germany, 300 kilograms. Now, don't quote me on this, but I think the world junior record is 370. So these guys are super strong, juniors and opens, as we've already seen. But 300 kilograms on the bar for Martin Lang. Nice, easy opening lift right there.
Good start for Martin.
And Dietmar gives a nod.
Good lift, good lift.
He's happy with his lifter.
For Sen Yang.
Now, Sen Yang, Chinese Taipei, he has had 2 great opening lifts on squat and bench, but just couldn't convert into second and thirds. Right now, he's opening at 300 kilograms on his deadlift.
So let's see what he does with this. It's a reasonably short movement of this bar.
Now, we did a 312.5 last year in Pilsen.
There we go. Squat suit on,
Made
back to
that
front,
look
I
easy.
noticed.
And a good start and a good lift.
It just amazes me, something so old. We've been doing that forever,
And we're
putting
still
us,
doing
we're
it.
still doing it. putting our squat suit on back to front for the
By the noise in the
deadlift.
crowd, I'm going to guess that there's a Swedish lifter coming up next, and yes, it is Eric Gunham, 325. What a support group there.
He's
He
got a
has
lot of
managed to
friends here.
convince half of Sweden to put on a Team Gunham shirt.
Yeah.
325 on the bar.
High belt position. He's supporting that area of his torso. This little adjustment might be pinching a bit.
Now, for those of you viewing at home, you are allowed to adjust your belt on the platform, but nothing else.
Whoa.
Wow, he absolutely smokes 325. That was like a first warm-up lift.
He is so pumped. The
Wow.
speed is unmatched.
Sergei Mashinkov from Russia now, 325. Got himself in all sorts of trouble on the bench press, but right now he wants to redeem himself on the deadlift. He has a best lift of 360.
He's got to get down to that bar first.
It's a long way down. And makes short work of 325. The feeling he might have his eye on chasing down a medal in the deadlift.
I mean, it's a very mixed feeling, I'm sure, for both of them. You get a successful lift, but it doesn't amount to anything.
It certainly doesn't wash over what happened on bench.
No.
Christopher from Norway, 327.5.
And remember, I called Christopher as the one to watch. He's moving up very quietly.
He is slowly pushing the envelope.
This has been a real... Oh, he just told the spotter, just watch it, because I do fall over backwards. And he does. So he's asked the spotter to be able to catch him.
And I've got to say, the spotters have been fantastic at that
Yeah,
this week.
they have.
They've been
And
keeping an eye on it the whole time. They've really considered lifter safety.
So
Well done there.
this
Gets
is
it on the board.
a really good thing that all people who are lifting can observe here. Christopher asks for assistance and it's there, but you don't need to be a hero and not have that support there.
Absolutely.
You just tell your spotter, I need you to get behind me because I've been known to faint. And even you don't speak the same language, you just show I fall over and hit my head.
Alexander Ruperts from the Ukraine, 330 kilograms. He wants this on the board. This is like probably the most important lift for him today. Has to put this opener on to send a message to his countrymen to say, you know what? I'm coming after your world championship.
He is definitely coming after the legend, Billy A. If he can get down to that bar, he'll be right. Double overhand, narrow.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of double overhand hook grip now. Wow.
Very composed.
Was that just a warm-up lift?
It was a safe attempt.
A very, very smart opening lift there. He knew how important it was to put a number on the board. Now, Sergei from the Ukraine goes at 350.
It's interesting because you know, you wonder, it's very high, and you wonder, did he need to do that?
Yeah, look, it's an interesting choice.
He's not had the best day.
He did actually drop it a little bit. It was originally
was it?
352.5, I think.
Just look at the size of his quads when we get a front-on view. Impressive.
He's standing on a pair of tree trunks.
And he keeps all that under 105 kilos. And that's why it was 350.
350 on the board. He's got his opener on there. We've got a battle on our hands now. We'll come around for the second round now with Stian from Norway, 3:07.5.
So with that then, Gary, with that lift, where are we really sitting now?
So we have Rupert on a subtotal of 1,062.5. Billier on a subtotal of 1,050, so he's got to make up 12.5 kilos. So in reality, Rupert's just needs to do his job, get a second on the board. He's put in 3:47.5, which is quite a good choice. It's not a huge jump. Then he leaves himself in the position to see, does he need to pull for the win, or can Billier catch him? Now, Eichland from Norway is, a little bit far away. He's currently on 1,002. Probably won't catch up.
But there's a fight there with Taipei, Chinese
but
Taipei,
Yang
isn't
is
it?
sneaking in behind here on 1,000. He's only 2.5 kilos off.
Here's Stian.
And Stian nails 3:07.5.
This was a good lift. A good lift.
And that's a good expression in Australian
Very Australian expression.
language.
I just thought I'd throw some extra Australian expressions in for Chrissy. Martin Lang from Germany, 310 kilograms. So those top 4 positions, number 1 and number 2 are going to be fighting it out in the last lift. Number 3 and number 4 are going to be fighting it out in the last lift as well.
Yeah, but there's a great battle going on here between Germany and Sweden.
Yeah, look, you've got 6th and 7th
Japan.
and 4th
Exactly.
all in the mix
Yeah,
there.
this is a great other battle that's going on.
And Germany are really, this competition, sending a message to the rest of all the other nations saying that, you know what, we can be really good at equipped lifting as well.
That's right. And so they ought to be. They have a historical...
They have a strong history in it.
315.
Sen Yang, 315. Now this, for him, is really important. He is only 2.5 kilos behind Norway for the bronze medal. He hasn't had a great day. He's only got his openers on his squat and bench. Can he do better in the deadlift? His opening deadlift looked fantastic.
Exactly right, Gary. He's only actually achieved 2 lifts. Oh,
And he struggled a bit. He got it to the top.
the weight got right out on the outside
He
of
got
the
the
feet.
2 white lines. I don't know if he's got much room to move for a third lift, though.
And I think he tore a callus there, which
And
he's
he's-
joking about.
And he's gonna,
He nearly lost it out of the
And
hands.
he's going to need a third lift if he wants to try and threaten for that bronze medal.
And that side ref saw that, I think, and saw that the bar was rolling out onto the fingertips.
Yeah,
and then he
picked that
made
up.
put it down a little heavy. But
All right,
here's
well,
Christopher.
3:42.5 has to get this on the board. He needs to defend this bronze medal.
Yeah, I think the pressure starts now. If he feels pressure, I don't know if he does.
The
but
way he's walking out there, it doesn't
it
look
doesn't
like
look like
he
he's
feels
got
pressure
any
at all.
pressure. But this is the moment where all the hard work he's been doing, really, he can either turn it into a reality or it'll slip away. And there's that spotter standing behind him just to catch him if he blanks out. But really, this is pay dirt time.
Yeah, really important for him here. And it's just a little bit too much. Is that the lift that cost
That
him
could be
the
it.
bronze? But remember, Yang from Chinese Taipei really only just managed that 315. Eric Gunham from Sweden, 345. And there's the team Gunham in the crowd. Everyone, there's always one that doesn't clap. Here he comes, Eric Gunham, 345 on the bar. This will move him to 935 total.
So, Gary, I recall that it took about 0.5 of a second for this whole lift to be over.
Yeah, look, this one's a little heavier, so I'm thinking maybe 0.6 of a second.
Just a little fraction slower.
The crowd has gone silent. Yeah, see, a little slower, 0.65 of a
Yep.
second.
Yeah, fantastic lift. You're, as they say,
Stoked.
stoked, as we say. All means the same.
All right, here we go. We're going for a World Junior total record.
Oh, wow.
Rupert is having the day of his life. This will give him a World Junior total record, 1,080. And I'll tell you what, that pulls him in 10.5 kilograms, within 10.5 kilos of the World Open total record.
He's
Wow.
certainly a junior to watch. He's threatening, more than threatening, he's breathing heavily.
347.5 on the bar. Well within his reach. But you've got to do it on the day.
He showed
He did 360 at the World Junior Championships.
he showed incredible composure and focus today.
He has showed real maturity. Ah, come on. Put some weight on that bar. And he has a bit of a look around at the top there. Takes a bit of a look around at everyone and says, thank you very much. I'll have the World Junior total record.
He's in the hot seat right now.
He is making it very, very tough for Billier to peg him down. Mashinkov from Russia now at 350. He wants to take home a medal in the deadlift to take something away from today.
Now, Sergei Makinkov, Russia, 350 kilos.
Just
Sergei.
shows the power and the strength of the junior athletes in powerlifting now. You've got a junior competing in the Opens, and he's not just competing.
Massive pull this.
Ah, well done. He gets it to the top.
Awesome.
Puts himself into a medal with that lift.
But like we said before, Gary, it's mixed emotions there. Great lift, but for what? In vain.
Yeah, look, it's all about now for him. It's just about taking something home.
Yep.
But right now we have 362.5 on the bar. Sergei Billier from the Ukraine. And this is really important. And Rupert has put in a 360
360, I
to
just
go
saw
after
that.
the World Open total record.
That's what he's aiming for.
Now remember, everyone at home, they can have 2 changes to their final attempt. But right now, 362.5, probably one of the most important lifts of his career right here. 362.5.
He needs to keep his cool and pull this to keep the youngster at bay.
It's going to be tough. Even this lift here still only puts him in 18.5 kilos of him. If he wants that gold medal, he's going to have to pull something crazy. That looks a lot more convincing than his first opening lift.
That is certainly a good lift there.
You know, we've said every session so far, if you want to win, you're going to have to pull a world record, and again, it's no exception. So we'll come into our third round now with Martin Lang from Germany, 317.5.
So what's Billy going to put on that third attempt? I'm just dying to see.
So we'll see what he puts in. Quite often they'll put in a placeholder, so they'll put in a number they don't really intend to pull, but it's just sort of hold that lifting position and to get a lift in. They've only got 1 minute to put an attempt in after their lift, so he has to put something. 375 he's put in.
So I just noticed the Chinese Taipei coach lurking and loitering around then.
Yeah, so Yang's in a really good position.
Yeah.
His subtotal is ahead of Christoph's subtotal, but Christoph has to pull the 347.5. But right now, Martin Lang 317.5, and Villiers sort of put his number in, so he gets the last sort of decision and gets the last pull and pulls what he has to. $317.5. Oh, he's having to work hard. It's just a little bit too hard to lock out. You know what? And Dietmar, his coach there, looks over, a bit of a smile, not disappointed at all.
Not at all. Said, well done, mate.
Now, Sen Yang from Chinese Taipei, 317.5, and I think this was smart. Only 2.5 kilos.
Yeah.
He didn't have much left in the tank. He's worn out. And this will put him at 1,017. And if Christoph misses his 347.5, he takes home the bronze.
Righto. So
Has to get this.
this is
Wants to get this on the board.
a game of chess. This is the strategy moment. It's the safe lift.
He knew he couldn't chase down Christoph's number.
No.
He's relying on
Him.
Christoph missing. He already
missing.
missed it once.
So they think he's going to miss it again, and this will get their man in the box position.
And he gets 3 from 3 on his deadlifts. Finally, he gets a 3 from 3. He's had a rough day today.
And they are delighted with that. He's done his
Well,
bit.
he is going to find out straight away because Christopher is next at 3:45.
And he's put a little bit more on it just to...
Yeah, look, he took that change. He had 342.5. He's gone for the 345. I'm not sure why he's thrown the extra on there. He didn't really need it.
Yeah. Anyway,
But
it's done.
This will put him at 1,020 and put him back in the bronze.
The thing is, Christopher is going to have to pull
He is going to have to give it everything he's got.
everything he's
The
got.
crowd's gone crazy.
And this is where
This is for the bronze.
things get a little crazy here now. Now we certainly need that back spotter.
It has come down to the wire. It has come down to the last pull. Everything he's got in the tank has to go into that pull.
And he knows what he has to do to himself to get this lift.
He knows that this is going to take everything. 760 pound. Can he do it?
He's away.
He's got it moving. And
Oh.
not quite in the tank. So Yang from Chinese Taipei will take the bronze medal home today.
And that's utter disappointment for him. He didn't do a thing wrong
That is
all day.
an upset. Yang had such a
Yep.
terrible morning and thought realistically he just won a bronze medal with 5 lifts.
Yeah, exactly. He
But right now, Rupert's Alexandra, 360 kilograms, and this will be a world total record.
right.
This will give the junior record and the open record at 360, so 1,092.5 kilograms. He's pulled 360. He pulled it this year in September at the Junior Championships. He's no stranger to this. And I'll tell you, if he puts this on the board, I don't know if Villiers has enough in the tank. That would be an absolute ridiculous number.
Yeah, this is sensational scenes here. The crowd is definitely behind this lifter.
360, a junior champion, won the Junior World Championships in September in South Africa, and now here trying to take home a gold medal at the Open World Championships. Oh, he's straightening out. All he's got to do is hang on to it.
Oh, the
and
grip.
he couldn't hang on to it at the top.
So close.
Oh,
So that'll
very
finish at
close.
1080.
Hands
But
couldn't hold it.
Villiers is going to have to pull 382.5, I think.
So
My math brain isn't working that fast at the moment.
Eric just congratulating him on such a valiant attempt.
It was he was all the way there. He just
And you
couldn't
can
hold
just
it at the
start
top.
to see it rolls out. He loses
You know,
the
it
grip.
just took so long to get there. So Eric Gunham now from Sweden, 362.5. Get ready to hear the crowd go crazy.
Yeah, they're going crazy.
362.5. We said earlier this week we'd fill this stadium well before the weekend, and we certainly have done that.
Oh, it's filled and overflowing now.
There are people standing by the doorway 362.5.
He's got a monster deadlift on him, and he's taking it to the Ukrainians.
Now I'm just watching Billier to see if any changes go in. He's currently sitting at 375.
Oh!
Wow. Here's a bit of a nod. Thank you very much. I'll take that one to the bank. 3 white lights. Wow.
He thrilled the crowd and filled this
Well,
hall
I
with
tell
energy.
you, it's not over yet because Sergei Mashinkov, he wants to move up in the medals in the deadlift. He's got 365 on the bar.
Yeah, and look, he is just pumped.
He is
So happy.
He wants this one. 365 on the bar. Can Sergei pull the 365 and rocket himself into the gold medal position for the deadlift with one lifter to come? And I'm watching Billier. He still hasn't made any changes yet. He has right up till bar loaded his call to do that. Has he decided that to pull that is just a bit too much for him?
So he's chasing the silver now in the deadlift.
Well, this
is the
one
gold.
will
It's the
temporarily
gold,
put him into the gold
You know, it's
medal
extraordinary.
position.
He could technically win.
If
It's
he pulls
possible.
this, he temporarily goes to the gold medal.
Oh,
He's got it moving.
it's
Yeah, it's a little
home.
bit
No.
too tough.
No.
So he will take the bronze
Oh, he's
medal.
cramped.
Yeah, he'll take the bronze medal in the deadlift. So he'll take home some jewelry.
There's the
But
change.
Billier is putting the change, 382.5, and I thought he would. That is a monster lift, though.
And that's team
we
points
said-
there.
We said he would have to pull for his life if he wanted this gold medal, and he has. Rupert has done everything he can. He's done his best. He broke the junior world total record. He almost broke the world open record. He's done everything he can. Now it is up to fate. Can Billier pull 382? It's a big ask. His 362.5 look good. Now look at 382.5.
It's a big jump.
It's a big, big jump at the end of a long day for your third and final lift. But he wants this gold medal. You're going to need an hour break afterwards to get him out of that suit.
Here he goes.
Can he take it back?
Oh, it's
And
not
it's
coming.
too much for him. He's given it everything he
Oh,
had.
my goodness.
Rupert's has won the world
Scandalous.
championship. He's taken the gold medal. He just won the junior championships in September, and he's come here to take the gold medal in the Open World Championships. The strength of the junior athletes is absolutely outstanding in this sport. Well, wow.
I know. I'm still in shock at what just happened there, what I saw, because I knew it was going to be a jostle between those two. But the way it panned out, Billy didn't have a good day. Rupert's had a brilliant day. Yang, Christophe, jostling.
Everything just fell into place. I'm going to need a drink after this one.
Yeah, a drink of water would be really good right now. Thank you, Gary, for having me on the mic with you.
It has
for
been
this session.
fantastic. Don't go too far away. We'll be right back with the medal ceremony. And then in tomorrow's session, we've got another great lineup for Friday at 10 a.m. We will have the 64 kilo, the 84 kilo women. We'll have the 84 kilo plus women, and then we'll have the 120 kilo men. So 10 a.m., 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Swedish time tomorrow. Don't go far away. We've got the medal ceremony coming up, and make sure you get back on the Olympic channel tomorrow and watch more of this fantastic action here in Halmstad, Sweden.
In the class 105 kilograms, here we have all the big lifters. And for this ceremony, we have the president of the International Powerlifting Federation, Mr. Gaston Parache, and we have the vice president, Sigurd Jon Petersson, who is going to do this procedure. So big applause to the lifters and to those gentlemen. Okay, now we have to start with the medals in the squat. And third place, the bronze to Sergei Machinkov from Russia, 395 kilos. The second place, the silver, goes to Shenyang, Chinese Taipei, 400 kilos. For the gold, from Ukraine, Alexander Rubets, 430 kilos. Thank you very much. Then we're going for the bench press. Third place, from Ukraine, 305 kilos, Sergei Bily, 305 kilos, Ukraine, bronze. Sergei, welcome. Sergei. There we have him. And the silver, from Norway, Kristoffer Eikeland, 307.5. Alltså silver från Norge, 307,5 kilo, Kristoffer Eikeland. And from Mongolia with 312.5, Tumenyagal Dashevge, the gold. Thank you very much. And then we go for the deadlift. Third place, the bronze from Russia, Sergei Machinkov, 350 kilo. And silver with 362.5 from Ukraine, Sergei Bily. From Sweden, the gold, Erik Gunnar, Sweden, 362.5. Thank you very much. Tack så mycket, Erik. Grattis. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we go to the totals. The bronze from China, Chinese Taipei with 1,017.5 kilos, Sen Yang. The silver from Ukraine, 1,062.5, Sergei Bely. Big hands. And the champion in this class, 2018 Halmstad, also from Ukraine with 1,080 kilograms, Alexander Rubets, world champion. Big hands. Ladies and gentlemen, all stand up and rise for the national anthem of Ukraine. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for this extraordinary competition today, and I wish you all back tomorrow. We're starting 10 o'clock with the ladies 84. So thank you very much, and you'll be welcome tomorrow for the ladies 84 and 84 plus.